Okay. Hold on. Let me double check. Make sure this is going on. I think it's working. Here we go. Okay. Alright, we're going to do a quick introduction. I'm going to swap to this real quick. And they're just going to do a quick recording. We're live. I just turned it on. And you're appeared. You're back. Hello, everyone. So
sorry, I had invisibility on.
It's different than greater invisibility. I'm so mad at Josh for I'm actually like that triggered me so much when he's like, they're both utility spells. Like, no, they're not, Josh. Read the spells. Ugh. Get him in here. I need to yell at him. Anyways, hi everybody. My name is Lee. I'm joined here with Mr. Jake from the J&J Tabletop Brothers, and I keep calling you guys brothers. It's just a thing now.
A lot of people do that, and I mean, I'm into it. We're not actually brothers, but it's fine with me.
But it's fine. We know you're the older one. It's okay. Anyways, we're here to look at the new class updates for the newest edition. Not 1D&D, but D&D 5e 5.5. I'm not really sure what the title is yet, right? No clue. Yeah. I figured.
The thing and the stuff.
Perfect. Yeah, so I haven't looked at these yet. I know you've looked at them a little bit. So, hey, girlies, we're brothers. Yeah, so he says. That's right. There he is. I need to yell at him. Invisibility is different than greater invisibility, Josh. Come on.
I love every part of this. This is great.
Yeah, so we're just going to take a look at these. And Josh, if you're in Discord, you're more than welcome to join us, my guy, because I heard Ranger got released today, and Ranger also are freaking out all over Reddit and the internet because of their level 20 skill or stuff. While I didn't read anything, yeah, I didn't read anything, but I did like hear news or like forums about people posting on just Reddit. Jake's a little quiet. I got him. There we go. I'll lower myself because I have a loud, boisterous voice.
Just gonna say, never underestimate the internet.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Rivers, what's up?
Rivers.
Yeah, we're looking at the new class or the updated class, or we're gonna try to at least. What do you want to start with? I know Josh is here. If Josh is gonna join us, we'll start with Ranger. If he's not here, then maybe we start with Ranger anyways and just laugh at him. What do you think?
You fool. No, I'm fine to start anywhere. I mean, they started with the fighter, which is the original Dungeons and Dragons class, the fighting man.
You want to start with the fighter? Okay.
Why not?
I think fighter was about a week or so ago. Yep, right here.
Yeah.
2024 to 2014. I'm getting a call from a private number.
And while you're evaluating that, I'll just say, if you're someone who is kind of skeptical whether or not that these changes are going to be like different enough or whatever, I don't know, however you want to phrase that, I think it's wise to wait to spend your money until you feel comfortable, but at the same time, like, it's different. Like, it's not the same. It is smoother. It is better. Like, you could use the old classes and things if you wanted, but like, it's different. I don't know. We'll learn more about it as we watch this video here, but
sorry if you're looking at my screen, everything is going crazy because I don't think I have a good place for chat.
He's like, everything, it's white on white.
It is actually terrible.
Oh, that's not bad.
Maybe I'll pop open my little this just to have. Ah, it's me. I'm knowing me. Oh man, guys, I'm really not good at live streaming at all. I am making a mess.
The
Here
plight of every YouTuber.
Is that big enough? I might even just get rid. You know what? Chat's goodbye, chat.
That's what he said.
Goodbye, chat. Shut up, Jake. We're doing good, Rivers. We're just This has all happened like a week ago, and I'm just now catching up because I have a crippling addiction to World of Warcraft. So I've been kind of AFK from the internet for a few days. Don't laugh at me. I have a problem. All right, so we're gonna take a look at the fighter first. Did you read this yet, Jake, or no?
I haven't read any of the articles, but I have watched the Jeremy Crawford videos.
You've watched all of them?
I have, yeah.
All right, well,
Yeah. There's a lot of things that really just smooth out pain points and things that like examples of things that are just like brought up to modern or like just everybody else's power level would
mm,
be like say the berserker's pain point of exhaustion, like that's not there, like those kinds of things that just you look at the fantasy of a class or an idea that you want to play and it from everything I'm hearing they're doing a good job in smoothing those things out and making each one something that you'd want to try. Like actually watching the ranger today I was thinking like I think I kind of want to try a beast master, and for me to say that, that is just
crazy.
really, really,
Yeah,
really weird.
yeah. I mean, in our campaign, in the Eve of Ruin campaign we're doing, like, you know, I know Rivers has been on. I've talked to Rivers like for the past 3 years. I feel like he's been one of the first people who's ever
I love Rivers.
yeah, he's
He
just been
always has
around the
something to
circle.
say. Like seriously, he's the best.
But like my channel is all pretty much spell casting and like magic items. It's not really anything martial at all.
You chose a champion fighter for Eve of Ruin. That's just
Well, I had to. I wanted to get out of my comfort zone, right?
just zig when everybody else is eggs.
Exactly. I just went exactly. Yeah. So I wanted to give it a go, and it's fun enough. It feels bad not having great weapon master, but other than that, it's a blast. So I do want to see how this looks because I don't know the marshals super well, but I have a good enough understanding of them at least to like judge this all with, I suppose. And everyone's always complaining about the difference between marshals and casters and their power levels and all that stuff. And you know, whatever you think about that, it is what it is. So we're gonna go with this and see how it feels, right? Or see how it sounds.
Just want to see if we can get hopped up enough to make some bad decisions.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to put your pike where?
Jeez. Oh man.
Sorry, should I not demonetize your video?
Demonetize. Oh no. DMC. Oh man. Now you're just gonna start singing "Can't Touch This." Do 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 do. Now we're screwed. All right. So let's see what we get. What's new for the fighter in 2024? Fighting style. Fighting styles are now feats. Okay. So that's not a class feature anymore, I suppose.
No, the feature is you get the feat.
It's just a feat. Okay.
Yeah.
Gain more uses of second wind. I love that. That's great. Second wind always felt like terrible to use.
Yeah, I believe instead of having it like as a short rest once per short rest kind of a thing, it's you get X amount per long rest.
X amount of uses or X amount of healing?
Uses, because you can use your second wind for more than just getting hit points back.
Got it. Oop. No one saw that. No one saw that.
I exist on the internet. It's not a green screen.
Exactly. I was going to lower my brightness a bit. That didn't work. Oh, man. Oh, no. Oh, no. Whatever. Good enough. Weapon mastery. You choose 3 weapons. You gain their mastery properties. May change your chosen weapon each long rest. And you gain access to more mastery properties. What are masteries?
So that's like a good example of one that I actually think is kind of broken is if you're wielding a great club and you hit someone with it, there's no save and you just push them like I think it's 10 feet.
Okay. So that's like kind of like a what's the it's not a champion, it's a
Battlemaster?
Battlemaster, thank you.
Yeah, but like there's a whole bunch of them. So like I know we're not talking about the rogue, but like say a short sword has the Vex property. When you hit someone with it, the next attack you have against it gives advantage. So obviously the rogue with sneak attack is going to want to follow that up to be able to generate their own sneak attack.
Go ahead, sorry.
I'm just saying, like a lot of different weapons have different ones. There's one I don't know exactly the names, but there's one that pushes them. There's one that slows them down. There's one that knocks them prone. Like there's a whole bunch of tactical options you can choose from. And I don't know exactly if it's just tied to the weapon or if the fighter's able to mix and match. I think that might have been a UA thing.
Uh-huh.
But I think later on, I think it might be Tactical Master. I think you just have more that you can apply The sap property, that was it. I see it on the list there. The sap property, when you hit someone, they have disadvantage on attacks against you.
That's super cool. So
That is
So
powerful.
this sounds totally new, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, it was in the UA, but this is how it's being presented now.
You know, this kind of actually reminds me, just based on your description, it kind of sounds to me like almost how like Baldur's Gate 3 handled weapons and their special properties. You know, where you
Yeah, I mean, I think it's cool that you have your weapon choice meaning more than just imagining a warhammer versus a longsword.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like, oh, this is a bludgeoning weapon. Cool.
All right, what do we got? Tactical Mind. Expend a use of Second Wind to add a D10 to a failed ability. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's an ability check. It's not an attack roll,
And
but
if
it
you-
is. Yep.
If you fail, you did not expect. That's such a like seemingly small thing, but quality of life. And that's the second thing aside from what you told me that has that, which makes me think that there's going to be a lot more of that.
This is a big trend.
Yeah.
Because I think that's one of the things that it really is one of the, like, if you have like your class is built around something that's fun and then you do a thing and it's like it doesn't work, you're like, well, okay.
It just feels
guess.
bad.
Yeah, it's like that's the one cool thing I can do per day and it didn't work.
And it didn't matter. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, what do we get? Now we get to subclasses. Battle Master. Maneuvers from Tasha's Cauldron of Everything have been included, and some options have been revamped. Okay, so they updated some maneuvers.
Yeah, that one
Champions.
seemed pretty much unchanged. Battle Master.
That's what it reads. Just changed some of the maneuvers because it's just taking Tasha's and putting it in the main book, right?
I think so. Yes.
And everyone has an opinion on Tasha's, but you know, it's cool enough. Whatever, it's cool. Champion, you become a paragon of the battlefield with improved athleticism, heroic inspiration, and the ability to defy death. Okay, I like what I'm hearing there because it didn't tell me anything. It just sounds cool.
Yeah, Lee. I think Aradel is gonna want to take a hard, long look at these champions.
I'm gonna. I mean, they didn't tell me anything about this. Improved athleticism, great. What does that mean? But I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
Josh is already saying, "Oh boy, you're in for a treat."
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, what's up? Hey, look, I'm done with my campaign. And you make it for this one of all live streams? No, I'm just kidding. Thank you. What's up, man? How you doing? Long time no talk. Eldritch Knight. More easily walk the line between casting spells and making multiple attacks. That's beautiful. I like that. It sounds like they changed the action, bonus action, and stuff like that.
You know how like some of the changes to Dragonborn let you replace an attack with the attack action with like the breath weapon? Some things are kind of like that where like you could throw a cantrip in there, and I think as you get like really far up in level, you could start doing leveled spells. So
that's cool. Man, that's really cool.
That's the fantasy, right? You're wielding sword and magic, so that's cool.
And the Psy Warrior, really, that's what they updated instead of the other ones? Interesting.
Yeah, it seems like each of them have 4 subclasses, like exactly 4.
Yeah. Gain a simple overview of your energy dice and small tweaks from Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. I don't know very much about Psy Warriors, I'm going to be honest, but that sounds
I'm kind of right
good.
there with you. I think obviously that's like your Jedi Guardian kind of class.
Yeah.
Fantasy and
yeah.
I'm into it. It's nice that it's there.
All right. Well, let's see. Tactical Shift at level 5. Move half your speed without provoking opportunity attacks when you use second. That's so good. That's
when you use second wind,
that's
not as.
Oh, so you don't even have. You literally just move.
I want my hit
Wait,
points
so
back.
you get 1.5.
Or I want to use second wind another way,
wait,
and then I want to move half my speed and not provoke opportunity attacks. I'm a fighter. I go where I'm needed. I go where I need to hit something.
So
boom.
You get 1.5 times your movement speed if you spend your second wind for your bonus action. Just flat. That's so good. It doesn't cost movement. It adds movement.
Exactly.
That's crazy. Okay. Wow. That's level 5. Okay. You can't be awake at 1:50 a.m. every night? Well, that's morning, so you're already wrong. I'm just kidding. I'm busting your balls. I really don't expect you to be here, but I
Lee
appreciate
definitely
you.
cares about you a lot. That's all I'm gonna say.
Go to sleep. You shouldn't be awake right now. All right, Indomitable, level 9. Add your fighter level to rerolls. That's pretty nice. Indomitable's not
That's
something
really
you use.
strong. That comes out online at level 9, so you're adding a minimum of 9.
Well, you're never gonna fail a wisdom saving throw or an intelligence saving throw again with that, right?
It's kind of like you're just overcoming it when you use Indomitable.
Yeah, it's kind of just like an auto success if we're being honest.
Not guaranteed, but it's basically guaranteed.
I mean, at level 9, it's
like, did I roll a 1? No, I think I saved.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Ooh, they get legendary resistance at level 9.
Replace what? Wait, where? Oh yeah, Indomitable. Okay, yeah. Yes. Ooh, wow.
Fighters. I have legendary resistance now. Cool.
No. They get semi-legendary resistance.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
just
it.
in quotes.
Yeah, exactly. Legendary. I like some of these two rivers. These are freaking awesome.
Every class has this in it. I've been excited. 5e is kind of new again. I like it.
You know, right? And this is the thing that I know Rivers mentioned earlier. He's not going to get into this new edition, but it's the way they keep selling it to us is that it's not a new edition. It's literally compatible with current 5e. So you're not necessarily learning new rules per se. You're just there's new things that you can or new ways you can play certain classes. So it's not like you're learning a new game.
Yeah, they updated 5e.
Yeah, so it's honestly, this sounds a lot better than my current fighter as it is. And my current fighter's already pretty cool, I think.
Every class gets a facelift, which should affect the CR system a little differently. And it is interesting that you have to wait a few months before you get your hands on the DMG.
Yeah.
But that notwithstanding, here we are, folks.
Replace a weapon mastery property with push, sap, or slow. Okay, I don't know what sap is. Is sap the disadvantage?
That's the disadvantage one I told you about. So basically what this is say you have, I believe weapons have a mastery property baked in. So that's the special thing that happens when you hit with it. The fighter at level 9 gets to choose either the one that's inherent to that weapon, or push, or sap, or slow for that attack. And I'm all over the place right now. So
it's supposed to snap, but it's not snapping.
It's not snapping.
Whatever, it's fine. Perfect, stay there. I hit the lock button, I accidentally unlocked you, and then you went crazy.
That's what happens when you add me to a live stream.
It just goes crazy.
You can't keep me locked down.
All the men and women go crazy when they see Jake on the screen.
Just think about it. At level 9, a fighter. So you in our Eve of Ruin game, you have a level 10 fighter. So now you have dual wielding short swords. So you would have the option of either having your follow up attack with advantage, obviously strong, or you can push them, or you can oppose disadvantage, or you could slow if you hit. You have 4 choices where everybody else that has weapon mastery has 1.
Ooh, that's a good point.
But that's the fighter, right?
Yeah,
that's the fighter. You are the tactical warrior. You're more than just angry, right? Like you're the one in there that's fighting the way. It's like an art. It's like a craft. It's something to be respected as a fighter. Like it's different than just smash.
Jeez, that's crazy. I didn't even consider that.
No, the tactical options for the fighter here are really fun, and it gives them a lot of control and debuff options and things that just wasn't there. And that all used to only be on the Battlemaster, but the Battlemaster, because they get this plus their maneuvers,
goes crazier.
Just get even more. Like you can, like I'm gonna sap you and push you, or slow you and push you. Yeah.
Get advantage on attacks against a creature after you miss an attack. I mean, that's just. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And then choose one epic boon or feat. Oh, or another feat. Okay. That's cool. Kind of kind of boring but cool.
Yeah, they have
right?
those. The epic boon is like that tier of feats that's like
Always
you
boring. I don't think I've seen a good one yet. But I haven't looked at the new updates yet. So
you can blink and shoot laser beams out of your eyes.
that is an epic boon if I've ever
That
heard
would be,
of one.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did I just do? No, I didn't. Okay. All right, let's go actually look into some of this stuff. We don't really need to look into second wind or any of that stuff, but you get 2 and increases as you level up. So I'm assuming it's like on the chart as you level up, you get new ones.
Well, that's a good. So you get 2 that fully replenishes on a long rest, but every short rest you get 1 back.
Okay, so that's perfect. Regain all expended uses thanks to Tactical Mind and Tactical Shift. This resource is made effective
more.
even when you're not on the edge of death. What's Tactical Mind and which one is that? Tactical Mind? Okay, so yeah, that's if it failed. Okay.
That one was designed to give them more uses in
Got it. Okay.
utility and exploration kinds of.
All right. Let's take a look at these masteries. All right. Great sword. Graze. You graze your enemies and damage them even if you miss. The damage is equal to the ability score modifier used to make the... What?
Yep.
You miss an attack and you still do +8 damage?
Well...
Wait, no. Ability score modifier.
So it would cap at 5 unless...
5, okay.
Other...
Alright, I thought that was just your bonus. But still, 4 damage for missing an attack is not bad, dude. Like... That's really, you're only ever getting, if you're rolling a normal, like, well, Greatsword's 2d6, right? So that would be 2 to 12 additional damage. So, I mean.
Well, so, no, that would just be whatever your strength modifier is.
Well, I know. I'm just saying if you roll dice and you roll really poorly, you'd only be doing 6 damage instead of 4. That's what I'm saying.
Fair enough.
Alright, Flail. Sap gives creatures disadvantage on their next attack roll. Combined with your high AC, this will be an annoying thorn or... Well, come on. Come on. At least try to make a funny joke. What is this?
Sounds like a joke I'd make, Jade.
It really does. It really does. I'm like, Jake, when did they hire you? Or did they just take it from you?
Jeremy Crawford asks me for advice all the time, actually. I only respond, like, at most 3 or 4 times a week. I don't want him to get too needy.
Oh, does it get really annoying?
He's very needy.
Yeah.
It's, like, weird.
That's
rough. It's, like, weird. Yeah.
You heard it here first, folks. You don't like this edition of D&D, blame Jake.
Well, okay. At Jay and Jake.
Yes, just at Jay and Jake with all of your D&D problems. Yeah, I'm gonna miss my huge sword, but you still get some damage. Exactly. That's just a good quality of life buff. And then Javelin, slow. Need to keep a bit of distance from your foe. The slow property reduces the speed by... You have a Ray of Frost!
I believe the longbow has this property, too.
That's so good. I really like... This is fantastic. Now, here's the next thing. I have 4 attacks.
Ranged...
Mine is 40 movement speed if I hit you with the proper weapon. That can't work that way.
Oh, it can't stack like that.
It says it reduces your speed by 10.
Oh,
which means,
as written, that's true.
As written, that's how it's written. Now, that's pretty cheesy.
Throw the Battle Master push attack on there, and you're...
Yeah, exactly, right? It just
you're good to go.
Then bonus action, disengage, walk up to him, hit him again. Bonus action, second wind, disengage, whatever. Sorry. Oh, man.
Be good, boo-boo.
I want to see more about how these function. I'll have to read more onto that.
Yeah, it's just basically an extra thing you do when you hit somebody.
Tactical Mind, that's your second wind usage. That isn't expended if you fail the ability check.
I will say, if you the Tactical Mind...
Yeah.
It does kind of seem like, if you think of all the other things you can purchase with your second wind, it does kind of feel like a high price to pay, but I guess in the right situation where you really need to succeed on something, then it's worth it.
I mean...
But if I was a fighter in that situation, I would probably be like, all right, that's a pretty significant decision. to burn a second wind to succeed on like a knowledge check.
If we're being honest, a fighter doing an ability check, anything a fighter does for an ability check is going to be strength or dex based. Or maybe, right?
Perception is pretty much there for everyone.
Perception, but like,
yeah.
If an ability check
you're
is
right.
guidance, right? You have guidance, you have other ways to do that doesn't cost you second wind that you can use in combat, right? Because fighters are meant for combat.
Yeah.
They're combat. That's literally what they do.
It's in the name. They fight.
Exactly.
I just think, considering it, and maybe not right away, but considering all the other things you can purchase with that second, it would have. If I'm playing a fighter, I'm just thinking, I really need the situation to warrant that price.
Yeah, it's
and
costly.
That's not bad. That's not bad. I'm just saying that's like at first like, oh man, there's this cool thing I can spam. And it's like, no, you can't spam it. It's just your clutch when you need it.
Do we have the number of how many of those we actually get yet, or is it not released yet?
I think you get
because it's in their class. I'm assuming it's in their table. You 2 to start, but I don't.
Yeah, if it's similar to like what we saw in UA, I think it might like follow your proficiency modifier.
Okay, that would make sense.
Something like that. But I don't know that for sure. That's just a guess.
Yeah, it's probably a safe guess. It's kind of like a rogue sneak attack dice, I'd assume. The amount of dice you get.
That would be a lot of second wins.
Well, you cap out at 66 additional, right?
No, that's like spell levels. You cap out at 10d6.
Oh, really?
Like, oh, snap! Yeah,
I thought it was 66. My bad. So we can drop someone's speed by 40 or... Listen, I cannot verify that, but reading this as it is stated, when you fail...
Yeah.
No. Sorry. The slow property reduces your target speed by 10 feet until your next turn when you hit. When you hit would imply whenever you hit with an attack. So if I hit with 2 attacks, does that mean this adds 10 to 10? So it would be minus 20?
Yeah, I mean...
That's how I read it?
Stacks. Yeah.
I'm sure there's... Yeah, exactly. It reads like Ray of Frost. And you can stack that.
Even if you just do look at the way it's written here, you can tell it's just presenting the idea. Need to keep a bit of distance between you and your foe. Like, that's not going to be phrased that way in the rule.
Yeah. They'll probably... If it's meant to be stackable, they'll probably leave it with just like this bit, and if it's not, they'll clarify it when it's actually fully released. But as it's written here, it seems like that. So, but I'm not telling you it will, because that does seem pretty bananas.
But I may or may not have an inside track as to what Jeremy Crawford is thinking.
Yeah, exactly. Where are we reading this from? Here, I'll link it in chat for you. Can I link it in chat? Am I gonna ban myself?
No, Josh said it's on D&D Beyond. Yeah,
there you go. I just linked it for you, Rivers.
But yeah,
it's in the post section on D&D Beyond, and I think it's got 6 of the classes so far.
Yeah.
All right, tactical shift. Let's get rid of the flavor text. Using your second wind allows you to move up to half your speed as part of the bonus action that don't provoke attacks of opportunity. That's so good. I mean, that's
part
just
of being effective in battle is being in the right spot at the right time. And I talk about it in our movement video, and we shout out our action economy series all the time.
Yeah,
like it's just movement and position is such a subtle way to have like massive control over the action economy. Like if I'm too far away from you to be able to be attacked, you have to burn your action to dash, and you're not attacking or casting a spell. You're moving instead, and I can now your action is now off the board just because I'm in a different spot.
Yeah,
that's really powerful,
man. And this is, and I've actually, I know you and me have talked about this a little bit. At least we've spoken in private about this. I know I've talked about this with Josh too a little bit, and we haven't actually had an in-depth discussion about the opportunity attacks and if they're good for the game. But this kind of like, I feel like this fixes a problem I have with marshals, where and in the past I've felt like, you stand and hit, and then you stand and hit again, and then you stand and hit again, because if you don't do that, you spend your action disengaging and not hitting again, or you get hit yourself.
If there are more paths to evading opportunity attacks, where it's like it's not just nobody can ever move.
Mm-hmm.
Like it should be. I don't know. I think overall the mechanic is good for the game, but I think if there are more ways around it, and the cost can be relative to what it's worth. You know, like the rogue is slippery, so they can get around it more easily than others. But then I think then you start to have some really fun decision points. Like, do I burn a second wind? Do I not? Like that's you know, do I use a misty step?
There's the good part of the game, right? Like,
yes,
it changes it from a binary, you take an attack or you waste your action to not take an attack, to you have multiple avenues to do this and still feel like you're getting a turn. You know, and I think that's great for the health of the game. All right, Indomitable. When you fail a saving throw, you can re-roll with the bonus equal to your fire. That's so good. At level 9.
That's really strong.
That is so strong.
It should be like your strength or dexterity modifier, but still, that would be really good.
I mean, you just don't fail a save when you use Indomitable at like level 20, right? Like, or not even level 20, like level 15 practically.
Look at that second paragraph. Now, if that won't help you avoid a Lich's dominate monster, maybe you shouldn't have taken a 6 in wisdom.
Well, it won't,
because
you're
like
not a monster.
Way it's gonna fail.
But you're not a monster. It wouldn't work. Who wrote this? Who wrote this?
A second. Mike Bernier.
Mike
Bernier.
You triggered me using the wrong dominate spell. I could be wrong. It might actually work that way, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't actually work on players that way. It's dominate person.
I just think it matters if you're humanoid or
not. But yeah, it's freaking bananas, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have my bananas emote, do I? Where's my bananas emote? I do have my bananas emote. There it is.
We have no bananas today.
Tactical Master. Okay, so this is where you get more weapon mastery stuff, I'm guessing.
Those are the 3 options. You have push, sap, and slow.
We've already covered sap and slow. Okay, we don't have to do that. But
yeah, it just adds those 3 options on top of the weapon mastery property for the weapon you have.
Okay.
Which actually, in a way, is a backdoor way of saying if you're wielding a weapon that has one of those 3, you shouldn't. Which kind of sucks a little bit.
What? Who is calling me like nonstop? I have literally not had a phone call from anyone aside from my family or fiance in months. I've gotten 3 in the past 30 minutes. Like, who bought my information?
Your number got on some list somewhere.
It really did.
It's like, hey, this is 1997. I'd like to know.
Do I pick it up? I'm gonna pick it up. Hello? Yes, this is Lee.
Oh, hey Lee, it's Chris at Livestream. How are you, sir?
Hey, good. How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
Oh boy.
A little bit. Sorry, I'm in the middle of something. Can you call me back maybe tomorrow afternoon? Awesome. Thanks so much. Have a good one. Okay. Yeah, I'm literally in the middle of something. Just if you can't call me tomorrow afternoon, Monday works too. It's fine. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
I would like to talk to you about your car's extended
That
warranty.
is so uncomfortably
that is
strange.
your bit. That is your bit.
That is so uncomfortable. That was my psychiatrist. What an I didn't know who it was for like the first 2 minutes, and he's like, "Hey, how you got a time?" And I'm like, "What?"
Like, no,
Like,
I don't.
Oh no! Hold on a second. Let me put this call. Hold on. Let me just. Hello, you're on speakerphone.
I'd like to talk to you about your car's extended warranty.
Oh, okay. What is my extended warranty looking like?
Not great. Not great.
Oh no, I can't hear it.
Anyway,
You can't hear him.
I
Go
can't-
away.
No. This is Josh, though, isn't it?
It was Josh.
Yes.
That's so
Yes.
uncomfortable. Oh man, Josh, no, you couldn't hear that. Maybe on Discord.
I
Did
couldn't,
Rivers
but maybe
hear
the
it?
channel could.
Tell me Rivers heard. Someone heard it. Don't come on.
I'd like to call you about your
Oh
car's
man,
extended
that was
warranty.
so good. Josh, help me with the bits. I told love between my psychiatrist and my car's extended warranty. Between my psychiatrist and my car's extended warranty. I'm totally gone.
They heard it was just Discord.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Good.
Okay, good. Jesus. Studied attacks. If you make an attack and it misses, you get advantage. Perfect.
Very reliable hitting.
Whenever you miss your first attack and critical hit on your second, because of advantage, you can say the first one was for research. Okay. 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 Jake, are you sure you didn't write this? Like, this is like dad level cringes.
I mean, I said don't use my exact words, but again, Jeremy Crawford, he's really needy. Like,
I'm
He
dropping frames? Oh no, my frames have been dropped! I hope it's good now.
we are dropping frame. I make my
Beep,
camera
boop,
go
beep,
weird.
bop, boop, bop, beep, boop, bop, beep, bop. Oh no, Jake. Oh no.
Yes?
You're getting taken into oh god! See, you can't do this with videos. You can't do this with videos. But live streaming. Oh, fun. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm offline. Oh no, my internet's gone. Uh-oh. Hello?
I'm back.
I think I lost my internet.
How embarrassing.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you again, yes.
Uh-oh. Did it work? No,
How
wait, what?
embarrassing.
Why am I streaming my first WoW character creation? What is this? You can still hear and see us? Great, okay. This is also why I don't live stream, because I don't know how to handle this. What do I do with my hands when things aren't going well?
Right hand, right foot when you're walking.
In
That's
my
how it
mouth.
goes.
Foot in my mouth.
Well, that's a different website, but you know.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my.
Alright, and then Epic Boons, baby.
Yeah, I think everybody gets Epic Boon at level 19.
Yeah, this is just increase one ability score by 1 to a maximum of 30.
30.
What?
30.
But how do you get to that?
Also, whenever you miss an attack roll, you can hit instead.
Once.
Once you use this ability, you can't use it again until the start
Wait,
of the
the next turn?
Yes, I'm using Great Weapon Master.
Oh my goodness. That's crazy.
Bananas.
It's a level 19 ability or feature, so that's makes sense. It should be crazy,
It's a
cool,
good one.
fantastic.
It is. A good one.
Holy snot, dude. That's nuts.
Mm-hmm. Bananas even.
Gee, but I don't understand how you get to 30. Because
I think there's other boons and things. I think they just wanted to put the line somewhere. But if you are
Got
going to
it.
play games past level 20, that kind
All right, well, that's the fighter. That looks really good. That looks so fun. I'm really excited to try out these masteries. I think that'll be a lot of fun. Oh,
I agree. I
bonus
think the
act.
fighter's going to have a lot more to enjoy than just dealing damage.
Yeah. And what does the champion get? It's still about critical hits. Oh, we didn't read this. Battlemaster, the number of superiority die in maneuvers you receive are the same, as is the scaling of the dice. Maneuvers have been brought over from Tasha's. Okay. There was a change to know your enemy, which removes the 1-minute observation condition and only reveals immunities, resistances, and vulnerabilities. Also 15 relentless presence now also allows you to use a free D8 instead of spending your regular die. Okay, so they're just small updates to that. We're in Discord for this, Josh. Just chatting. We're using video for Jake's camera. Champion. The champion's still about critical hits with some added bonuses. Remarkable Athlete has been brought to level 3 and now gives you advantage on initiative rolls. That's huge. Not like it matters because
Champion is ready to roll.
Yeah.
Champion's ready to go.
And strength checks. You also get an access to a new feature at level 10 called Heroic Warrior, which gives you heroic inspiration. What's heroic inspiration?
Inspiration.
You just
But
get inspiration?
It's actually better though because now you could use it on a damage roll if you wanted. It's literally
Really?
any roll. Yeah. It's also you could still do it on an attack or an ability check, whatever. But now you could.
That's so cool.
But
Dude.
the neat thing about that is like since you at level 10, you have that at the start of every turn.
Well, that's what I mean, is that's insane. And you get advantage in other ways as well with this Tactical Master stuff.
Honestly, when I think
Or studied
about
attacks, yeah.
when I think about that feature alone,
This
is the champion the strongest fighter?
Well, let's look at Eldritch Knight. The Eldritch Knight remains mostly the same, with some minor changes to War Magic. Instead of going to attack once as a bonus action when you cast a cantrip as an action, you can simply replace an attack with the cantrip. Thank you! That is the change it needed to be fantastic. That's so
Yes.
good. This allows you to intermix your magic and attacks more effectively, especially when you get 2 extra attacks at level 11. Exactly.
Yep.
Perfect. Improved War Magic follows this trend, but requires you to forego 2 attacks to cast a first. Okay, that makes sense though. That's great.
Yeah, if you're gonna do something heavier, the cost is a little high.
Yeah, that's so good. That fixes the problem with the whole spellcasting stuff for Knight, I think.
Yeah, I think the Eldritch Knight was still up there in terms of power, but this just makes it smoother. I think the emphasis here is on what is the fantasy, and how can we execute mechanics that better let you live that out at the table.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, that is going to be a buff to basically everything. But as long as there's an update to encounter building, then we're fine.
I'm just looking at some of the comments now, and I see Josh. Well, I see Dark saying my DM's gonna kill me after we talk about these changes. Yeah. Good luck, friend. But Josh says they're gonna have to add higher tier content if they're gonna keep having rules like this, which I do agree.
That is in the works, though.
Yeah.
They've talked about that.
Have they?
Yeah, about adding a lot more high tier monsters, especially for each creature type at every tier.
Did he ask your opinion on it? Any monster in particular?
Well, I said, listen, I was like, your highest level Fae is like level 10 or CR10, and that's kind of embarrassing. Like, that's a whole group of monsters you're just cutting off halfway through an adventuring career. And he was like, well, I mean, I guess that's a good point. And I said, listen, Jeremy, just trust me. And he was like, all right, Jake, I don't think I understand exactly, but if you say to do something, I'll do it. And I was like, that's powerful. I'm not going to abuse that, I promise.
Got it. So when can we expect, all druids to have the combat wild shape?
September.
Perfect.
You want to do Druid next?
Yeah,
you want to
let's
go
do
right
Druid
there?
next.
Okay.
Let's go right into Druid. Perfect timing. Let's go roll right on into the Druid with that one. Clean transition with that perfect segue.
So smooth.
So smooth. Circle of the Moon Druid and changes to wild shape. Okay, so it doesn't look like Druid was entirely updated yet.
If you look at it's toward the top of the page. It's like the middle.
Well, yeah, it's just the Circle of the Moon and wild shape changes, it looks like.
Oh, okay.
It's not actually...
But they have a nice chart.
I like charts. I like charts. Charts are good. Changes to wild shape. Okay. 2014 wild shape isn't... Oh, boom!
Everybody
Gets a bonus action wild shape.
You get a bonus action, and you get a bonus action. Everybody gets a bonus action. basically
Oh,
the
man.
update.
That's a big update. That's really good. 2 uses, unlimited uses at level 20, changed to 2 uses starting at level 2, 3 uses starting at level 6, and 4 uses starting at level 17. Great quality of life change again.
They also did things where like you can talk in wild shape and things like that, which is kind of an interesting.
Look at this! Look at this! Replenishing. 1 line. Okay, like 10 lines of text here. Changes. Come on.
Hey, Vanessa, how's it going? Nice. Yeah, no. It's just every class just has more uptime, and it's just good.
Yeah. One of the Druid videos, one of the ones I've seen and I like about them was different uses for wild shape. Jake, we actually met. Our
This whole thing.
relationship came to fruition through me reaching out to Jake about doing a Druid video. And the first video we ever did was the 1 D&D Druid updates, which is, by the way, one of my most banger videos I
Honestly,
have ever
it was
produced.
fantastic.
It was
fantastic.
mwah, bang. Mods, post it in the chat. Josh, that's you.
It's like, I don't know how to find it.
Whatever.
No, but seriously, if you watch it, it's like, I don't know, we're talking about some of the updates, and we didn't record it at the same time, and just let that sink in as you watch.
It's all old content now. All of the stuff it talks about is redundant, but man, oh man.
Yeah, but there's cool ideas that we have in there.
Yeah, we do. Like,
There's
the second half of the video is cool ideas.
Like,
yeah.
how do we fix it? Like, we don't just talk about problems. We talk about solutions.
Exactly, yeah. I'm going to turn into a huge bear and use it as a boat. Yeah, exactly, pretty much. That's welcome to Druid now.
Yeah, you are, you
Yeah. All right, let's get through this. Replenishing uses of wild shape. You regain uses when you finish a short or long rest. Okay. You regain 1 use when you finish a short rest. All uses on a long rest. Okay. At level 5, you can use Wild Resurgence to restore a use by expending a spell slot. You may also expend 1 use of Wild Shape to restore a level 1 spell slot.
Kind of like flexible casting.
Okay,
with sorcery
I kind of
points.
like that.
Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of like sorcery points, yeah. Although I would not...
And it's a level 1 slot, so it's not like it's just if you need it and you have this other resource, you still have a...
It's just a nice little thing. I wouldn't really equate a Wild Shape charge to a level 1 spell, but it's still a nice little adjustment.
It is a little different too. Like, the hit points aren't like, you just get temporary hit points instead of just an entirely
they change the hit points, right? Yeah, and actually here we go. Hit points in Wild Shape. When you transform, you assume the hit points and hit points of the beast. When you transform, you gain temporary hit points equal to your Druid level. This feels bad, but it is a good change.
It's good for the game.
Exactly. It is a good change for the health of the game.
It is
100%.
There's no way around it.
Yeah.
I don't remember if they mentioned this. Actually, Vanessa in chat, if you remember if they mentioned this. If I was talking about the Moon Druid, I would do like Druid level plus Wisdom modifier just to give them that's a little extra.
A little extra, right? Yeah.
They should have something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But because the Moon Druid is cool, but the Moon Druid largely does just lean into the moon fantasy. Their wild shape is still better than the other wild shape, but it's not like, oh my god, I have to do that.
Well,
it's by far the best.
The issue I have with this hit point adjustment is that you're taking on this unless I don't think they change anything else in here. You're taking on the stats of the creature you use, right? And a bear doesn't have the highest AC, right? So,
well,
am I speaking too soon?
You might be, but I'm trying to think if that's a Moon Druid thing or an any Druid thing.
No, that's an every Druid thing. I'm pretty sure.
Because one of them lets you have, there's like a formula, like 13 plus your Wisdom modifier for AC.
In current?
No, in the update.
Oh, in the update. Okay.
That might be just a Moon Druid thing.
Okay, well, I mean, that's still a decent difference.
Oh yeah.
But like that's still it. I do wish that this temporary hit points was maybe like a bit more than that. Like maybe
Yeah.
2 times your druid level, because like
You're
let,
starting
us
to, once you get high level though, you're starting to push like, is this another whole pool of hit points?
well
Like it's,
kind of, but like think about it like this: if you're
Yeah.
level 20 and you're transforming into a bear, right? You're still gaining less hit points with 40 extra hit points than you are transforming into a bear, right? At level
yeah, just
20.
why you turn it into a bear at level 20, but I hear
Well,
you.
you know what I'm saying, right? Regardless of
Yes,
what
I
you
do.
transform into, you get less hit points if you double your druid
Sure.
level worth of hit points. And at level 2, it's very risky having a 13 AC bear running as a druid, right? I feel because you get what 2 hit points or 3 hit points or something at that, which
Yeah, it's very weak at the beginning, and then it's not strong enough at the end.
yeah,
it's, like this
it's
weird,
got a very
it's like this
strange.
weird. It's like it's good from levels like 8 to 15.
Yeah, it's good for the health of the game, but I think this needs a bit more cooking for like
Just give 'em
balance
wisdom
purposes.
modifier.
Yeah,
Give 'em
right.
wisdom
Like
modifier.
just something. Limitations. Here we go. Beast of
Is
the
that your
land,
nerf?
beast of the sea, beast of the sky. Let's see.
No.
All right. Swim speed. Yeah, these are the current limitations. It must be a creature you've seen before, and your ability to speak is limited. Level 2. Okay, so they're keeping the same CR and the no spot. Oh wait, that they have a swim speed at level 2 and 4. Okay, and you know different forms, just base. Okay, at
Yes,
level 8 you
but-
get flight form.
Go.
When you finish a long rest, you can replace them. Oh, you can. Oh, that's great. Okay, and then you can speak in beast form. That's really helpful. That is
Right? I mean,
yeah.
oh yeah, guys, I scouted this thing. I know exactly what you need to know, but I'm just chirping like a sparrow because that's what I was when I flew in.
I'm a duck. Where is it, Jake? You're too slow on this. There it is. Okay, thank you.
Didn't have the soundboard up.
Um,
Forgive me, Lee, for I have sinned.
you just it's all right. You're okay. I'll just know not to trust you later on. Damage and wild shape. There were no adjustments in the original, but at level 7 you gain an additional D8 of cold, fire, lightning, or thunder damage when you hit using a weapon or beast form attack, and damage type is chosen on hit. Okay, so you can choose on hit, so you can just choose based on the resistance of the creature. And it's increased to 2d8 at level 15. It's telling me I'm offline again, guys. I don't know if I'm even here. Man, I don't know what's... We upgraded to, like, gigabit, not even gigabit, like, very fast, much faster internet, and it does this thing where it randomly drops sometimes. And I don't even know if I'm dropped. Is anyone there? Hello? Am I speaking to the void?
Again.
Oh, hello.
I can hear you.
I think I'm still streaming. I can't tell.
I did notice that it happened when Josh showed up.
Oh, is Josh here?
I mean, he is.
He's just not. Interesting. I see. I'm gonna dox him and share his Discord information. Okay.
The real Josh T.
It's not. Is that the real Josh T? Alright, let's see. Optional rule. At level 7, you can expend a wild shape to cast Find Familiar. And now it's just official. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's beautiful. I think that's great. I think Druids should be one of the classes that can have a little companion.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It does make
definitely
sense.
makes sense.
Yeah, I think this should be like, probably base of the class, but I understand it. I know, what was it, like my 3.5 Druid had a beast companion. Maybe it was a Pathfinder original. I don't remember. But it just feels like that a Druid would have a beast companion if they wanted one.
It's like the Ranger can, but the Druid can't. That's weird.
Exactly, right? Well, yeah, it's just weird. Alright, Moon Druid changes now. Let's see what we get. Druid for life! That's what I mean! Let's go!
Hey, Baron.
Alright. Now let's see how the Moon Druid stacks up to these changes now.
So yeah, I was right. The AC is a moon druid thing where your AC in beast form becomes 13 plus your wisdom modifier, unless your beast form's AC is higher.
But you also gain 3 times your druid level. There it is. There it is.
There it is.
There he is. It's the
Hey.
boy.
Hey, how
The
are
man,
you?
the myth,
It's
the
your
legend.
boy Haribo Happy Cola.
You know what's funny, Jake? I know you're saying that because I said that once upon a time, but I was going through old voicemails, and I have a voicemail of you saying the same thing to me.
Really? That's fantastic. Do you still want to talk to me about my car's extended warranty?
Oh no, I wanted to talk to Lee about his car's extended warranty. That's actually,
okay.
it's exactly why I hopped on the call here.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay, great. I can't wait. I'm getting spam calls by my psychiatrist and some guy trying to sell me an extended warranty on my car. Do you want to use a camera or no?
No. I'm just,
Okay.
I'm just
Hold
here
on a
as another
second.
voice.
All right, hold on a second. I know exactly how to handle this.
Just leave it exactly as is.
No.
I think a
That's
picture
why
of you
I-
is coming.
No,
This is
no,
bad.
no, don't worry.
Or not.
Don't worry. I got this.
I don't even know how long I'm gonna be here for, Lee. It's not worth the effort.
You say it's not worth the effort, but it's so worth the effort.
All right. All right. Well, while you're doing that,
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you have on your mind, Josh?
I like turtles.
I like turtles.
You could probably turn into a turtle with the new wild shape.
Yeah.
I'd say yes. This is such a big picture of you.
It's such a big picture of Josh, and it's so poorly cropped. I love it.
Like, ooh, look at this wild shape over here.
Ooh, how do I rotate this?
Oh wow! Look at that. That's me.
Oh wow, that's me. He says.
That's a me.
How do I rotate it? I just want to rotate it.
I have
See
to.
how this
I have
goes.
to use the bathroom. I will be back at one moment.
Wait,
While
wait.
you rotate that.
Haribo Happy Cola.
Okay, Rivers, have a good one.
Have a good evening, Rivers.
Can I just like flip this? You know what? I know what I'll do. I will flip it upside down. You'll be up here. Beautiful. And Josh, the real Josh
Oh
T.
boy.
There you are. You're just so surprised with what's going on here.
Yeah.
I had another picture I was gonna add, but I couldn't find it in time to make a funny joke.
Oh, it's okay.
It's
all good.
unfortunate. How you doing, man? I haven't talked to you in what 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Good,
Crazy.
man. It's been a busy week, but all good stuff.
Yeah.
So this is not very funny. I don't know why I'm laughing, but
Okay.
I have an early morning tomorrow. I gotta pick stuff up for my niece's birthday party because my brother-in-law just sprained his ankle.
Okay.
Now he sprained his ankle the exact same way that my sister sprained her ankle about maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Oy, jeez.
They have like their property is very hilly, and they have it's really hard to call it a staircase because it's so long.
Yeah.
But it's just this this stone kind of walkway that has a couple steps on it, and both of them just weren't paying attention, I guess, fell down that staircase or that walkway.
Yikers.
So-
Oh.
I'm thinking I'm gonna have to build some sort of handrail.
Oh
but
no.
We'll see. We'll see what they want to do.
I remember the first set of stairs I ever built. It was a doozy of a first step because I mismeasured.
Nice.
But it was a back porch step, so it was totally fine. No one would ever fall down. Definitely up to code, as long as the building inspector never looked at it. Definitely up to code.
Yeah, exactly.
I have never broken a bone yet in my life, so
I have never So when it comes to stuff like that, I'm pretty dumb.
Same.
I will always tell people like, oh, go to the doctor, take care of yourself, whatever, all that kind of stuff. But when it comes to me, I just don't do it.
Take care of
So
yourself. Yeah.
like I have some fingers that like I can't like the next time I see you, I will show you how far I could bend my pinky finger.
I don't
because
like
it
what
goes
that
up.
Insinuates. Yikes.
Well, it goes up like well, not even half of where it should go because I was at a church youth retreat. Somebody threw a football to me. It was a horrible throw. I should have just let it hit the ground, but instead I reached for it and it hit me just in the pinky finger.
Oh.
And I just didn't say anything about it. I like grabbed some snow and was like, I'm gonna sit down for a little bit.
I'll be fine. Yikes. Oh, that makes me. You know that you get the shivers and like the awkward, uncomfortable when you hear that kind of stuff. Oh goodness, yikes.
But I've had a number of silly things like that.
Jeez.
For me, that's Tuesday.
Every Tuesday is just something silly happening to you?
No, I just get the shivers and stuff like that you just said.
On Tuesdays?
Tuesdays.
Specifically, yeah.
Specifically Tuesdays?
I don't know why.
Specific time?
My doctors can't explain it.
I can't tell if you're joking because you're being so deadpan right now and it's kind of worrisome.
It's like, he's only cold on Tuesdays. I can't explain it either.
Oh yeah, sorry. I just jump scared the stream with my wizard thing. Sorry. Yeah.
And it said Pathfinder 2.
It said PF2. Yeah. That was I did a live stream with my older cousin who prefers Pathfinder instead.
You mean he prefers 3rd edition Dungeons and Dragons?
Well, whatever. And
I prefer a system that either that doesn't have the OGM in it.
He didn't want to be on camera, so I used this picture for his little DM screen on the live stream. And that's the little jump scare that you got. Sorry about that. Let me just put it right there. Right,
there you go.
right in front of you. Perfect. Put him right there. And
there he is.
You're a wizard, Harry.
You're a Harry
I'm a what?
wizard. You're a Harry wizard.
I guess so.
3.5 was a great addition to play in like 2009. Yeah, well said.
3.5 was cool, as is Pathfinder. 5th edition is it's a just very different kind of game.
It's different.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with different.
The Tuesday Shivers disease, exactly.
Yeah.
You should probably get that checked out.
I got TSD.
Oh no, that doesn't sound right. Oh.
You guys just being on call with
That's
me,
good.
you need to be checked for TSDs.
No, I got my. It's all right. I've got my my safety banana sleeve here.
You have virus protection?
Yeah, I've got McAfee or Avast antivirus protection.
Okay, got it.
Well done.
All right.
Circle of the moon.
Circle of the moon. Moving on from the TSDs, we have Circle of the Moon. You could get boat higher AC, which is bananas, 13 plus your wisdom modifier, or higher beast AC, as well as 3 times your druid level as temp hit points, which immediately
That's
fixes the
temp
problem
HG.
we were just talking about.
Yeah, it is good. It's
Yeah.
very
All right, man, you have a good one. We gotta meet sometime.
See you,
I
man.
keep seeing you on the internet and Discord, and we have never actually met. And these guys have vetted you as being actually vetted cool dude. 100%.
You get the J&J stamp.
The
of
J&J
approval.
certified cool dude.
Honestly,
We gotta sit down and chat one of these days.
He's one of the best people around.
it really is not given out freely, that J&J stamp of approval. There's
That's
not
actually
many
very
that
true.
have it.
Yeah.
We love Baron here.
I'm still earning it. This is part of my trial, my initiation trial for it, actually.
Yeah, you're still on probation.
Yeah,
You know what
on
you
probation.
did. You know what you did.
Yeah, all of those things you got to cut out of that live stream. I'm so sorry.
I don't know what it is about the bananas.
Or not the live stream, the video.
All those bananas.
If you know, you know.
Sunday, new episode coming out.
Exactly. All right, level 3. You gain the what? Oh wait, the base class gains the ability to cast spells in beast form at level 18, except when a spell consumes a material. Wait.
You just keep going, one step at a time. But the 2024 Circle of the Moon Druid can start casting spells from your Circle of the Moon spells table as early as level 3. This means you don't have to choose between staying in your beast form or casting Cure Wounds on an ally. That's not all spells. I think it's like abjuration spells, and it's like it's limited. It's the.
Did they keep that bit of the 1D&D stuff?
I don't know if it's in its entirety, but
because the 1D&D stuff was like you could cast abjuration spells in your beast form, but it was like limited to like 2 spells because only 2 spells were like abjuration on the list.
Actually, on the wizard video, maybe yesterday or whenever it was, he said they added more abjuration spells because there just weren't as many, and they also just felt like maybe some spells like healing spells would be more in line with.
That makes
kind
sense.
Of things.
This is so good. This is so good.
But you used to be able to burn a spell slot to just heal yourself. This just lets you cast Cure Wounds.
It's so good. Yeah.
The only thing I will say is I think the original one, though, you could use a bonus action, and this is if it's just Cure Wounds. Obviously, that's an action.
Well, I mean, like, what's the bonus action one? Cure.
I think the 2014 feature. If you're in wild shape as a moon druid, you could burn spell slots, kind of like a paladin would for smite, but you could heal yourself.
Well, that's the current version of 2014, yes. But
exactly.
Like the 2024 one, I wonder what spells have changed to.
Wait, if healing words in that mix
from your Circle of the Moon's spells table.
Yes, so they're going to have a list of spells that are approved for this message.
That would be interesting to me. To see what's approved, which I'm assuming
healing word is, that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
You know,
that's great. I love that.
I think we're gonna have. I think was it Moonbeam is probably going to be on that list. There's like a lot of moon.
I'd assume Moonbeam was on the. They still need to fix Moonbeam. It still feels bad to use sometimes.
Maybe
at level 6, your Circle of the Moon Druid can choose to deal an attack normal damage type or radiant damage. That's kind of cool. Mm-hmm. It's just replaces the magical attacks of the 2014 version. Okay. That's cool. Radiant damage is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Moon Druid can no longer gain elemental wild shape feature. It's been replaced with more moon-flavored Moonlight Step, which allows you to use a bonus action to teleport 30 feet.
You can miss these step. Basically.
And gain advantage on your next attack roll before the end of your turn. That's great. It's really cool. It feels really bad to get rid of this, but my heart or my gut is telling me they will not just throw this in the dumpster, right? This is too cool to get rid of.
I think you should get used to disappointment on this lane.
You think so?
That would be my guess, yeah.
Man,
I think, but there's no limit. I don't see any limits here. I mean, unless it's just as a bonus action, you can teleport there.
Yeah. That's fair. It doesn't say there's a limit.
You are a Nightcrawler Moon Druid.
That is really cool. If there's no limit, I guess that's kind of really cool. That's really nice. Yeah. But still, it does feel bad not being able to shapeshift. This is a class fantasy that is going to be sorely missing if it's gone entirely.
I know. That was actually when we were preparing for Eve of Ruin. My very first thought was like, I'm finally going to play a Moon Druid because I'm going to go all the way up to level 20. I'm going to turn into an elemental and do all sorts of cool tanky things and magic things. It's going to be lots of fun. And then I went with a wizard because that's my favorite class.
Yeah, I had to ruin it.
You didn't ruin it. You opened my eyes, Josh. You opened my eyes.
I was going to go Druid as well if you didn't go Druid. But then I was like, well, we have a wizard and we have an artificer. We don't need another caster. Because I wasn't going to go Moon Druid. Like,
I think it's a good group.
Little did we know that artificer was actually half barbarian, half fighter.
See the build I helped Michael put together. I was like, you're a Hill Dwarf, you get extra hit points.
Vanessa says in the video discussing it, she's fairly certain that there's no limit on the teleport. If that's the case, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Because that's a
You're
free
not turning
teleport.
into an earth elemental.
Yeah, because you
for
what do
your
you can?
teleport.
I mean, I guess that would take your bonus action from Cure Wounding, but like honestly, there's not much else you'd be using your bonus action for
You
in
don't need
Wild
it for
Shape.
it. Yeah, you don't need it unless it's just an extra option.
So you get just advantage for your bonus action as well as a teleport. That's so good.
The rogue is like, I can dash or disengage as a bonus action. The moon druid's like, that's cute.
Move over, kid. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's so powerful.
I do both, baby.
Hey, baby.
E.
All right, level 14, you get Lunar Form. Replaces the 1,000 forms from 2014. Once per turn, you deal an additional 2d10. Once per turn, you deal.
Boom.
Once per turn.
Yes.
Once per turn, you deal an additional 2d10 radiant damage to a target you hit with your Wild Shape's form attack. This means on a 15, on a hit, you would deal your base damage plus 2d10 radiant damage plus 2d8 damage of your.
So if
Wow.
You go T-Rex. If you
Wow.
Go T-Rex,
That's so much.
T-Rex 4d12, 2d10 plus 2d8.
Plus your tail attack,
Wow.
because they have multi-attack.
Boom.
That's nuts. And that, if correct me if I'm wrong, but if I go up here, damage. Every attack gets the additional 2d8.
Yep.
So you get the 2d10 once, but you get a 2d8 on every multi-attack.
I think the moon druid still is king of the hill here.
Yeah. Yeah, this is...
And that's fun. That's part of the fantasy. And I have to say, I was really afraid they were just taking that away because, you can't have nice things. But I think they did a pretty good job there.
I think so too. I 6 is boring as shit, but like, the 6 has always been boring as hell. This feels bad. It feels terrible giving this up. But you gain something really freaking cool, so it makes it feel a little bit better.
There's a lot more teleporting in the
Yeah.
2024 handbook.
And then this is just you get, if you hit your attacks, you get I think most of your multi attacks for beasts are at least only 2 attacks, right? So you're getting 2d10 plus 4d8 every round if you hit, which
And
is
that's just bonus damage.
insane. Just bonus damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Moon Druid is still gonna be king of the hill. You're right, man. I can't wait to see the other subclasses for druids because this is cool. And you know what? They might have gotten
Yeah,
rid
they
of
had.
this, but it makes me feel like they're not afraid to cook and go crazy with some stuff with this lunar form thing and this teleporting moonstep thing.
And that's your capstone. It should be good.
Well, it's 14. It's not a capstone.
Well, it's the moon capstone.
It's the moon. I
not
guess you're
the
right. It's the moon
class
capstone. Yeah.
But that's the one you've been waiting for.
Yeah. I guess this gives me hope, thinking that they're just like, we're going to throw stuff at a wall, and if it sticks, it sticks. They're not afraid to make mistakes anymore.
I think they just are letting every class
Yeah.
be strong instead of every subclass. And yeah, Vanessa. Circle of Land did sound cool, too. I mean, they have
Did they mention it in
land
the video?
spells. They did. So, like, normally, or like now,
Hello?
you choose... He's like, let's just watch it.
I mean, yeah, I just want to... Where is it?
So, they have...
Timestamps, Wizards of the Coast. What the hell are you doing? It's 2024.
They don't know.
But yeah, Vanessa said in chat, like, so normally you would choose one land type that you're just permanently attuned to. Every long rest, you could change which land type you're.
Oh.
Which I think that's good. I mean, if you're truly connected to the land,
That's
it's-
kind of cool.
yeah, I like that.
I do.
They probably do have a teleport thing. Anything Fey is just like, hey, you want to teleport, and then teleport.
Yeah. Hey,
Then we could
Hey,
also
kid.
just teleport. It's like,
kid, you want to
then
teleport?
teleport again. Yeah. I
That's
want a
cool.
Fey monk that can teleport in between each attack. Even if it's just 10 feet, I just want to do that.
That sounds like a Diablo 3 thing. Did you ever play
I
Diablo
just,
3?
Every time I watch X-Men and see Nightcrawler do his thing, he's just like teleporting and kicking and punching and doing all sorts of cool things. I'm like, I want to do that. Like, yeah.
All right. I got time for maybe one more look at one of these classes. We got...
Man.
I was going to say, well, Josh is here.
You want to do
Yeah.
the Ranger? Josh is here, yeah.
It's the only reason I came here with you goons.
True. It's true. It's the only reason he came here. All right. So the Ranger, yeah, looks good.
Should we go down to the
Okay.
the features themselves instead of
yeah.
just the chart?
Let's. Do you want to just let's skip the chart? Yeah, sure. We'll go right to the features. Spellcasting at level 1. The 2024 Ranger can prepare more spells than the 2014 Ranger could learn. For example, 2014 Ranger learned their sixth spell at level 9. 2024 Ranger can prepare their 6th spell at level 5. Oh.
Oh.
Okay, so you can just get more spells there.
Wait.
Spellcasting looks a little different as well. All
Yep, you get it at level
spellcasting
1.
classes prepare their spells now, although some classes still change their spells when they level up, like you're used to. Spellcasting classes are no longer distinguished by who prepares and who learns them, but rather how often they can change their prepared spells, and how many they can learn or change at a time. For example, 2024 Ranger prepares its spells when they complete a long rest, just like the Druid, but can only swap out 1 spell per day. I mean, being able to swap out a spell is still pretty good. Like, they're making it sound like it's not as impactful, but swapping out a spell based on your needs per day is crazy.
I think
Well,
I
it
think
used to
they-
be at level ups.
Yeah, exactly. I think they're just trying to say that you can do it less than primary casters, but
And-
it's definitely still significant.
Yeah, and when Jeremy was talking to me about this, I said, listen, the Ranger is all about just like where they've been. They understand new environments. They know, like, oh, I know how to handle Panic Ash. I know how to handle a jungle. I know how to handle the Underdark. It doesn't matter. So every day they can just get the magic they need. So that's just better.
I think that's cool. I like how they're changing the spell casting. Because if we're being honest, the 2014 spell casting between preparing, knowing spells, all that other stuff was a bit wishy-washy and can be confusing for people.
Yeah, I think using the same term, I like the concept better mechanically.
Yeah.
But using the same term, I'm a little like I remember when I saw the UA, I was like, why is every class prepared now? This is weird. But it just wasn't. I was just using old thinking when I looked at it.
Sounds
Alright.
about right. Every time you think you're
Hey.
using old thinking.
Listen,
Hey.
respect your elders.
But Hunter's
Listen,
Mark.
Josh,
um,
this isn't the debate from last night, okay? We don't want to, like, elder abuse, all right?
Oh no, I didn't see that, and I'm actually.
No, we're not talking about it. It just, I had to make the joke. Okay.
So, Hunter's Mark. It's always prepared, and you get 2 free uses of it now, which is pretty cool.
That
Super
is
Where is that?
Use
Just
of it.
this? Oh, it deals force damage on a hit as well. Okay, let's. Uh-oh, I'm gone again. My internet,
It's
dude.
the
What is
grades, they're like
happening?
taupe. His internet is just not great.
Okay, I'll read it to you, Lee.
No, I'm good. Hello, is it here?
Yeah, we're here.
Can you hear me?
We
Yeah.
can hear you. Can you hear
Alright.
us?
I can now hear you. Oh, this is the long one. They updated everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one probably got, but they said
Good.
the Ranger and the Monk got the best, the
Good.
biggest
They
updates.
need. Did they update the monk yet?
They didn't
Not
share it, but that's what they said. In the
Okay. Well, this is good because the Ranger needed the update. If we're being honest. Don't me. You know I'm right, and you're happy about these updates. I'm sure.
I blow raspberries at your slander of the Ranger.
I mean, am I wrong though?
I think Josh. I think you'll be happy with the change.
Well, all right.
Yeah, no, there's good changes for sure, but I don't want to derail us. We could, you keep.
All right. The feature no longer focuses on tracking and recalling information about a certain creature type or learning their language. Instead, you
Just
can now
grazes
cast
right past
Hunter's Mark.
Yeah.
Well, he said this whole thing says it's better relationship with Hunter's Mark. I heard that much.
Yes. They
Um,
like Hunter's Mark could still be accessible by like the Vengeance Paladin, but nobody does Hunter's Mark like the Ranger.
No,
Yeah.
nobody has a Hunter's Mark like me. All right, my Hunter's Mark is used. I need to stop.
Force damage is also pretty big too.
Because it was just what was it? Just adding a D6 of piercing before.
I think it was just a D6 of whatever weapon damage you dealt.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, force damage is. I mean, force is the least resisted damage type in 5th edition, which is
Yep.
massive. It doesn't sound like a lot, but It's actually huge. You can cast it twice per long rest without expending a spell slot, and you always have it prepared. Beautiful. Mwah. French kiss. Or chef's kiss, not French kiss. What the fuck?
Hee ha ha ha.
Hey.
Les poissons,
Oh my
les
goodness.
poissons.
Fagata, yeah. This will make it easier to keep up with barbarians, fighters, and paladins damage output without having to spend your spell slot to do it. Yeah. With the new spellcasting feature, you can already prepare more spells than before. With the new favorite enemy, you can also prepare Ranger's trademark spell for free. Yeah. And you get more casts of it for free when you level up. That's great. That's so good. Oh, okay.
It's just their signature spell.
Oh, and you get weapon mastery. Okay.
Sure do.
Battle axe. You could be a bad. The only thing I like better than rolling to attack an enemy is doing it with advantage. With toppled, you can force enemies to make a con save or be knocked prone. Okay. Longbow.
So these are just examples. I don't
slow.
think this is the only options you have.
No, but these are cool because
Yeah.
longbow can slow.
Mm-hmm.
I think they added the loading property to longbow.
Okay, look at
They
this.
really?
Look at this. A creature can only suffer from one speed reduction via the slow ability at a time.
Okay. That
So
answers
there's
our
the
question from
clarification.
earlier.
I know Doric's not here anymore, but we've learned that we cannot stack that.
That's for the best, considering fighters and 4 attacks.
Yeah. But then you have other things like Spear Guardians. Haha.
Yeah, and you could ray of frost them too. Like
Ray of
there's-
Frost.
Ah.
Does the weapon mastery level up?
You get more masteries, I think, as you level up, but I don't think the ability itself levels up.
I think when you have a weapon mastery, you have that weapon mastery. And then,
Yeah.
like fighters have more options.
The weapon
I don't think
mastery
the-
feature gives you access to, like, I think of weapon mastery
Yeah.
as just a property for the weapon.
Yeah.
And having the feature gives you access to use that property. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's a good way of saying.
You
it.
get two weapon masteries, so you could choose like a ranged weapon, like a longbow,
Yep.
or like
And
a
if you wanted-
scimitar or something.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, this is cool. Again, it gives you some more flavor to your weapons, right? Like, it is kind of like a pseudo light Baldur's Gate take on weapons, which I think is great. Natural Explorer, let's see.
I agree.
Natural Explorer is not a feature of 2024 Ranger. Instead, if you'd like to be an expert navigator, Ranger now gains access to spells that can help with that, such as Alarm, Good Berry, Speak with Animal, level 1. And you can select Expertise and Survival with Deft Explorer at level 2. Okay. That's cool.
So traditionally, they used to have like a favored terrain, and that's what.
And you get advantage on checks within or about the terrain, right?
Yeah, it's
And
but
so-
like expertise and survival alone is
It's
just
massive.
It's just more. It's just more often useful.
And that's only because people don't do exploration right.
It's a
Yeah.
good point. It's a good point.
Like that's if you want to talk about why Vanilla Ranger had problems, quote unquote, it's just because people don't repeat, like the exploration pillar gets ignored.
They're like, okay,
Um,
so this trip is gonna take 3 weeks. All right, you get there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, what?
Yep.
I thought this was like the mysterious temple of doom from
It's the classic
Indiana
time
Jones.
skip.
It's like I thought I'd have to find this thing. Like, you found it.
Yeah, I think, if I'm being honest, I think the 2014 Ranger, like Natural Explorer and stuff like that, is an archetype of an older style of play, almost. Because, traveling for 3 weeks, if you did official rules for travel, it's literally you roll for an encounter per certain amount of time or hour of travel. You can roll like 8 random encounters for 8 hours and you're not done with 1 day of travel yet. That's official rules, which
I
is
think it's more
I
about a
think-
neglected pillar of play more than
Yeah.
a old style of play.
yeah, that's probably close
I mean,
more
I
accurate.
think-
Yeah.
I personally really, you could pick any increment of time, but like I kind of like the way Matt Mercer handles that, where it's just like, all right, we're traveling. let's do a roll for the day. You know, but you could do for the hour, for the day, for a week, like whatever increment of time works for you.
I think if you really and we're really getting off topic now, and it is my fault, but
Damn it,
I
Josh.
think I think if you want to do exploration justice, having some sort of like hex grid or something like that is really one of the better ways to do it. You're rolling on each hex instead of trying to say like, all right, well, we traveled for however many hours and we're going to roll however many encounters for every hour. It's just, this is how many hexes we could travel through per day, assuming that we don't run into anything crazy. We're going to roll for encounters, and that can mean combat, but that could also mean this hidden temple or this amazing view or whatever. And I think that's how you could make exploration fun. But I agree. I think a lot of people don't necessarily even want to play that game because it does become a little bit of a game of resource management.
Yeah,
but
it can become a slog if it's not done or implemented correctly. You know, but I definitely agree 100%. I also think that it is also probably, like Jake said, the most neglected like pillar of the adventure style D&D roleplay games. Right? It's
Yeah, well, Josh basically just gave what I said more legs. I mean, like, it's just old school D&D was emphasized combat and exploration, and now it's more combat and roleplay.
True. All right, let's move away from that. I don't want to get sucked into a Critical Role. It's a good or bad for D&D conversation.
I don't think that they started that.
Well,
no.
Yeah.
They're just more front facing.
Yeah, we're not, stop, Josh. We just stopped.
I'm just saying.
Did you guys see the episode 2 weeks ago?
Fuck out of here. All right, Depth Explorer. And everything, the options from Tasha's Cauldron, everything have been broken out into their own feature in 2024 Ranger. Now a level 2 feature, the new Ranger's Depth Explorer grants you experience in 1 skill plus proficiency in 2 languages. Okay, so you just become more skilled. So you can choose an extra skill proficiency and get 2 languages. I think there needs to be more ways to get languages in 5th edition, if I'm being honest. So
I actually think
that.
experience is supposed to say expertise. I suspect that's a typo, or
I agree.
Okay, well, if it's expertise,
then everything makes sense.
then everything makes sense. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess it is capitalized.
Yeah, I just think like autocorrect, whoever wrote the article. I think it.
Man, who's writing these articles? They're making everything is just, ugh.
Dang it!
God dang it! Fighting style.
This is
Like dogs without horses.
Damon Cook or whoever is.
Huh?
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 Hmm? What?
Fighting styles. They're now a feat. We've talked about this with the fighter already. You're no longer limited to archery, defense, dueling, and 2-weapon fighting, so you can grab a shield and focus on. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's cool. I don't think it's necessarily necessary, but it's cool. Like,
just why limit it?
Yeah.
It's like a lot of times when people see our Fey Magic sorcerer, they're like, "Oh man, giving sorcerers access to the Druid spell list, crazy." I was like, "Well, there's a whole official one that does it for the cleric spell list."
Mm-hmm.
Like, why is like I still know 7 spells. What does it matter what spell list they?
I think that's cool. I do like this a lot. I like that it's now a feat too, right? It makes it less kind of a headache or less confusing to figure out or like track.
All the rules are in one spot.
Exactly. You don't have to jump between 3 different freaking pages of 7 different books. All right, subclasses. Here we go. We got the Beastmaster, the Fey Wanderer, the Gloomstalker, and the Hunter. All right. Beastmaster's signature feature, Primal Companion. It looks very similar to what you saw in Tasha's. However, their AC now scales with your Wisdom modifier instead of your proficiency bonus. Exceptional training can be activated on turns when you use the bonus action command your companion instead of on turns when your companion did not attack. And this feature now lets your primal companion take the dodge action as a bonus action. Lastly, Bestial Fury shares some benefits of Hunter's Mark with your primal companion once per turn. Josh, you're gonna have to forgive me.
Yep.
You're gonna have to remind me on this one. How do the beasts or your companion attacks work currently in the Tasha's book? They're pretty terrible, if I recall, right?
Beastmaster is not my thing. I like Hunter.
Uh-huh.
But let me pull up Tasha's. I'll tell you right now.
I'm at it, yeah.
For a long time, you used your bonus action to tell the Beastmaster what to do.
While they're looking it up, Vanessa, the only ways I actually know how to gain extra languages is through the feat, like Jake mentioned, or through like backgrounds or different feats like that. Which
I think you could spend time studying it too.
you can
yes.
spend time studying it, but it's a rule that so few people actually know. I think it's like a certain amount
downtime.
of like
What's downtime?
exactly, because downtime isn't like we were just talking about. Like downtime isn't something that we frequently utilize or think about in current 5e.
Downtime is so special, though.
You could sacrifice one of your attacks when you take the attack action to command the beast.
Okay, yeah. See, that feels bad.
Yes.
Now I'll look this up later. Sorry. How does it
I know,
work, Josh?
This
Okay.
actually made me want to try a Beastmaster, which is insane.
No, you could use you use your bonus action to command it to take an action.
Oh, you can
and-
also sacrifice.
Yeah, exactly. So
Okay.
it's essentially you use your bonus action to control it. Without using your bonus action, it can move, use a reaction, but the only action it can take is the dodge action, unless you sacrifice your bonus action to have it do something.
That's so
else.
stupid. I think that's the stupidest thing.
That's better than vanilla.
I
Vanilla's
know
pretty
Vanilla's terrible, but like,
Minion classes are hard to balance.
yeah,
bad. Yeah. Yep.
it can be. All right, well that makes sense. All right, but they get benefits of Hunter's Mark, which sounds pretty cool.
That's
Once
pretty
per
strong.
turn.
Fantastic, and that's a great because I think each subclass has their own little extra thing they use Hunter's Mark for, and that's perfect for the Beastmaster.
Let's take a look at Fey
Great.
Wanderer. It's almost entirely unchanged. Moving on. You get Summon Fey is always prepared instead of Dispel Magic, but Dispel Magic is now on the Ranger spell list, meaning anyone can prepare it. Okay. I mean, you get Summon Fey, which I know you love your summon spells, Mr. The Real Joshua T.
Does he?
Yeah.
He loves Conjure
Yeah.
Woodland Beings, so I'm assuming
I
he
love
loves
him.
summon spells.
Absolutely.
I find your
I
lack
think
of Conjure Woodland Being
Disturbing.
disturbing.
Yeah. Oh, they're underused.
I think Gloomstalker is arguably the best one currently in 2014, or Tasha's rather.
Yeah.
It's very strong.
Instead of an extra attack on the first round that deals additional damage, the Gloomstalker's Dread Ambusher now allows them to add extra damage to a hit a few times per day. Oh.
It's also Xanathar's. Just
Okay, fine. Stalker's Fury at level 11 was also tweaked slightly to build off of this change, instead increasing the damage of Dread Ambusher and allowing you to apply an additional effect when you use it. You can make an extra attack on a nearby enemy or frighten your target and creatures within 10 feet of it. And that's at level 11.
Yeah. So you're kind of more. It's more leaning into like the Shadowfell. I'm stalking you. Like I'm
Yeah.
the thing that's in the night. That the things that live in the night are afraid of. You know, like it's that kind of a.
my name is
Kind of
Mr. Bumpy. I go bump in the night. That's what
Yep.
it is.
Bump it.
So this is interesting. It's you get extra damage to a hit a few times per day, whereas originally you get an extra attack with additional damage in the first round of combat.
Yep.
Probably evens out
It's probably
a little.
not a direct comparison, but it's a
Yeah.
little more Paladin Smitey.
It's kind of they like changed the ability to be that classic ranger. You have some sort of way to add a damage die
Yeah.
to your attack.
Yeah.
Which you see in the Hunter, the Fey Wanderer, the Horizon Walker, and almost every other Ranger subclass.
You can make an extra attack on a nearby enemy. I wonder if this is like a melee attack. Because it says a nearby enemy. That could be
That's
kind of
interesting.
cool. That could be really cool.
That is
Either
very
way, it's kind of a cool change in theming. I get not even change in theming, but more of a focused theming, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, be curious to see the details on it.
Yeah, I do want to see the details on that. All right, the Hunter. Become more streamlined with Hunter's Prey and Defensive Tactics, granting you 2 options instead of 3. However, you can change those selections every time you take a short or long rests, making you more adaptable. That's cool.
That's excellent news.
Yeah.
Hunter's Prey and Defensive Tactics. Well, actually, that's not even necessarily what I'm thinking of. But being able to change that situationally, I think is very cool, and it does make sense to me. But I'm looking something up. Feel free to keep going.
Yeah.
Okay.
A nice thing about the Hunter's lore too is it's new. It's at level 3, and you automatically know the immunities, resistances, and vulnerabilities of creatures
Yes.
marked by your Hunter's Mark spell.
Yeah, that is just. It's like a much better version of Know Your Enemy.
Well, that's what Know Your Enemy now does.
There you go.
I think.
I mean, it's just default, right? Like, you use your Hunter's Mark on everything you're going to hit, right? Like,
But that's the way the hunter should be. Like the
Yeah.
hunter, that's like the professional hunter, right? Like that's the one. When I watch somebody move, I watch how they react to things, and just I've been there. I've seen that. I know how these creatures are.
Yeah.
Like it just leans into that so hard, and I like.
I do think that's cool. I'm
interested
curious
in-
where the power comes from, though, for this. Because, like, if we're comparing it to, like, the Gloomstalker here still, you know, like...
It's
mean,
gonna come from Hunter's Prey, initially at least. I don't know if you still get a multi-attack for it.
Well,
But-
that's where the details are going to be important here, right?
I
Like,
think
Yeah.
that was the level 11 feature.
Previously,
Or-
that's what it was. I don't know what it is now or if it still exists.
Yeah, but I mean, Josh, I feel comfortable speaking for Josh on this. Hunter gets slapped on. Like people
Oh yeah.
are like Gloomstalker only, and it's like, okay, so once per encounter you get an extra attack, and the Hunter's like, that's cute. Every round I get an extra D8 of damage. Like,
Yeah.
why do
Mhm.
people say it's bad? It's just weird.
You're stacking dice like a rogue. You know?
yeah.
It's just
So
it's
if you're
just
using
weird.
your Hunter's Mark, you're adding a D6 to every hit. If you have Colossus Slayer, you're adding a D8 to 1 hit per round.
What's
So-
Colossus
we should-
Slayer from?
Colossus Slayer is a 3rd level Hunter's Prey feature. If an enemy has already taken an attack, if its hit points are below maximum, you deal an extra D8 of damage. every
If you
time
shoot
hit
it once,
Or, I'm
it's
sorry,
below
once
its
per turn.
maximum.
Got it.
The next one, deal the extra damage.
Oh, man. Playing Hunter was a really fun experience. Did you play a Hunter, Vanessa? That's interesting. I've never played a Ranger, or I don't think I've actually... Hold on.
That was Josh's like first full experience, right?
Yeah.
Was a Ranger?
Yeah,
Hunter.
I played a Paladin for maybe like 3 or 4 sessions, and then I played a Hunter Ranger for oh god, I don't
few
even
months
know.
for sure.
Yeah, a few months where we were playing once a
Like
week,
every
like
week.
we weren't skipping. Yeah,
Yeah, I
Ivlar, baby.
have the sickness, the FDM, the Forever DM disease.
the ick.
The ick, yeah. This is literally just for your reference. This is the first campaign I've played in that was like more than 5 sessions. We have broken my record of sessions I've played in.
I'm so happy to hear that. I'm so happy you're able to do that with us.
I have
Yeah, me
literally played in. I've attempted to play in 2 games. Both of them fell apart after like 3 sessions. So our Eva Vecna or Eva Ruin or whatever is the first time I'm actually getting to play. As far as DMing is concerned, I've DM'd every single class except a ranger.
Like none of your players have played
None
a
of my
ranger?
players have played a ranger. They've played
I
everything
need to do
but.
this too.
Interesting.
I think that's the only one I haven't played. Actually. Or
Whoa. That's
is
crazy.
that true?
Well, there we go. That's 166% of DMs know nothing about rangers. You heard it here first, folks.
Well, I've played a first edition ranger. I'm just thinking if I've played a 5e ranger.
What was that? I couldn't hear you.
Oh, you shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
A half-orc hunter named Gianna.
Love that.
Gianna.
Hey,
She did the pinch the fingers like this.
it is Gianna.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey,
outta
get
here.
the fuck out of here, Gianna. What the
Outta
fuck
here.
hey, look at you, you got so big. Get the fuck out of here.
Nobody has any context.
No one has
Yes.
no context
That's
of
the
that.
best part. Rangers also get some more expertise. They get what does the primeval awareness do now? Still gain a greater awareness of the world.
More
and
expertise.
Perception.
Holy
Yeah.
shit. You guys Rangers get so much expertise. That's like the third
It's-
thing that has brought it up.
They should though.
No, I know
Honestly,
they should. It's just, I'm amazed that they're giving so much to them.
As the resident ranger lover and just in general hater, you know, it feels a little lazy to me to just hand out expertise willy nilly and get rid of all of the built-in. They're
Like the cool stuff.
yeah, there were like cool specific abilities or features, and they're just kind of swapped out for like, well, now you have
Spells.
expertise in survival or perception, or you get beast sense or locate animals, or which is
Do
still
you-
cool. It's probably more effective at most tables, but
And
I don't
that
know.
was the whole. I mean, the way. Well, I when Jeremy was asking my advice, I said, listen, tell him like this. I said, say the ideas you had were good, but they just didn't functionally work the way you wanted. Basically, exactly what you said,
yeah.
and that's how we said it in the video.
so-
Almost word for word.
How does...
Didn't
Do
attribute
you know
anything.
how the spell castings for Rangers are going to look? Because you're getting more spells, but
I
like...
think the slots are the same. I think it's just going to be
That
like
would
the
be
artificer.
Because, like, I
Yeah.
kind of agree with what Josh is saying here, because you're getting access to more spells that can replace these features, but you're not getting access to more slots to actually utilize them in an effective way, right?
But
Like,
No, but
giving
you're
you
getting-
the free hunter's mark,
Yep.
or the couple free hunter's marks.
yeah, but like,
opens it up at least a little bit.
yeah, I still feel like that's not. I don't know. That feels still kind of like almost lazy to me.
Robbing
like you
Peter to pay
said.
Paul.
I do like expertise. I do think expertise is really cool, and I think that's great. But I don't think saying, "Oh, you also have spells to supplement what this used to be," is a good replacement because Rangers don't get that many spell slots. And even though you're removing Hunter's Mark from the spell slot equation, like, how many spell slots you get at like level 1, 2, and then you get like 3, 4, like as you get to
Yeah, so Rangers and Paladins get magic at level 1 now, but if you just look at the Artificer, I think
it's a half spell
probably-
caster, yeah.
Yeah, they're still half, and I think it's probably going to look exactly like that, without the
Yeah.
cantrips, unless you choose that fighting stuff. Because that is an option for both Paladins and Rangers. You could forego a fighting style but get cantrips.
That is an interesting option.
Yeah, why not, right? I have an Atsu too. Shut
If
the
you just
door.
make it one word,
How
then
you doing?
it sounds like the name of a Star Wars character.
Like Ansu.
Ansu, yeah.
Yeah. Like, Ansu, shut the airlock.
Oh, me and Ansu, we're going to pick up some power converters.
we're heading to Lee Station to pick up some power converters. You can waste time with your friends later, Luke.
My dog wanted to come down, but then she stood at the top of the stairs staring down at me. So,
Just brought Hermione in.
yeah. Alright, sorry. Level 6, roving. Formerly
This is
Depth
nice.
Explorer. Roving has been split
This
off
is
into
nice.
its own class feature with a slight buff. It now grants an additional 10 feet of movement instead of 5, but it does not require you to not wear. And it grants
But
a
it
climb
does.
speed,
It does require you to wear. Not
but
wear
it
heavy.
does require you not to wear heavy armor.
That's
I mean, that makes sense. And honestly, whatever. It was just
Yeah.
it still
They
grants
really-
climb speed and swim speed. Okay.
They need a new editor.
Good night,
Holy
Vanessa.
moly. Good night, Vanessa. Thanks for hanging out.
Yep.
We'll
Good
talk more
night.
about
Have a
all
cool
this in
one.
Discord, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
But it does require you not to wear. Yeah, this is worded very strange. Come on.
Yeah.
But it doesn't
Um,
not require you to not wear.
This is
heavy
true.
armor.
That's cool. That is very cool. I forget what it replaced. In Tasha's, it was an optional feature to replace something else, but I mean, any player character having a climb speed or a swim speed is pretty significant.
Yeah.
Let alone the additional movement by itself. Like all of those things individually
Add up.
are pretty big.
Yeah.
So together, it's kind of massive.
They probably land stride is probably what it was getting rid of, right? Because it's not a feature currently. But now you get expertise in 2 additional skills.
Even
That's
more.
crazy.
So you'll have it in 3.
You're gonna be the specialist in so many things. Oh my god.
Well, they started to
It's-
look at the ranger more as an expert class.
Yeah,
It has
which
warrior
is well,
features.
yeah.
It
Uh,
really is.
Tireless. You can use an action to grant yourself temporary hit points.
Nothing wrong with that.
Well,
Do it
hold on a
before
second.
the fight.
As soon as I hear, okay,
I
feature-
love using this feature as
I
soon
just-
as literally anything seems off.
I need this person to stop giving me flavor text or opinions. I don't need your opinion. It's like they're trying to sell me this shit is good. Like, I don't care what your opinion is. Let me make my own opinion.
I mean, it's fine for someone to put their personality in something. I'm just being silly making fun of it. I do genuinely believe that they need an editor hardcore because there've been an alarming amount of mistakes in here. But
Now it's
You got that right.
nearly identical to its appearance in Tasha's. All right. Well, now I need to open up Tasha's because I need to know what this is.
which one is nearly identical?
Tireless.
Oh, yeah.
You can get rid of exhaustion on a short rest instead of a long rest.
That's
Yep.
it.
I think that's the
That
That's the
plus
guts of
the you use an action
When
to grant yourself
Temp hit points.
HP.
But that's like why would you ever do that? Just say you start the day with
Equal 1d8 plus your wisdom modifier. That seems like so
how many times can you use it though?
equal to your
Wisdom
proficiency
modifier times?
bonus.
It'll be equal to your wisdom modifier and
I mean-
one, which is really funny, honestly. Like Tasha's always kind of felt like Unearthed Arcana to me. Especially like Tasha's and Monsters of the Multiverse was like the in between that they gave us right before they came out with the rules update. And now you're just seeing that where they're like, oh yeah, we had some good ideas, but it wasn't fully fleshed out. Thanks for playtesting it. This is the
Yeah.
final form.
This is literally just something you pop on yourself when you wake up in the day and start your adventuring day, and then after combat's over, you use your next charge, right? Like it's not a combat thing. So it makes it sound like it's meant to be a combat thing, but it's not.
It's strong.
It's like a worse second wind. It is. It is just a flat out worse second wind. Right?
It's giving bless.
Bless. Where do you see bless?
I said it's giving bless. Like there's no. I can't think of a reason not to do it unless you have an
Oh, I
absolutely
see what you're saying.
insane DM like our good friend Matt, who one time there was a trap that if you fell into it, you had to roll a d6 and you got that many levels of exhaustion.
What
Which
the hell?
yes, that does mean that you have a 1 in 6 chance of just dying.
We're like, whoa. I was like, yeah, I thought that'd be cool. Like, oh, okay.
Hide in plain sight isn't a thing. You just get tireless. At level 13, you get Relentless Hunter. Taking damage can no longer break your concentration. That's really nice.
Whoa.
That's really nice.
For Hunter's
Whoa.
Mark, yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
for Hunter's
okay.
Mark. If you want to focus on dealing damage, nothing so pedestrian as a fireball can stop you. You
So
now
it's-
lose
Yeah, it still takes you
concentration.
that slot,
Yeah.
the concentration slot, but
I mean, that's nice. That's really nice quality of life.
sure. it is.
Nature's Veil. You can turn invisible as a bonus action. The invisibility lasts until the end of your next turn, granting you advantage on any attack roll you make during that time.
So it's greater invisibility for
I don't...
a turn.
Is
Yeah.
it greater invisibility?
This
Granting you
invisibility
advantage on
lasts
attack
until
rolls
the
you
end
make
of your next turn.
during that time.
Because
just-
that's
So you just lead off with a
fucking
bonus.
crazy.
You just lead off with that invisibility bonus action.
Because here's the
Do your
thing.
thing.
You turn invisible. Invisible breaks if you do something aggressive.
Uh-huh.
The spell invisibility.
Right.
So, this needs to be clarified because it does seem like it's greater
Well,
invisibility.
No
it doesn't.
clarification needed.
It's right there. It's right there.
It's, yeah. This invisibility lasts until the end of your next turn, granting you advantage
It's
on
very specific.
any attack rolls you make during that time.
That
So,
sounds fucking crazy.
Well, I'm sure it's not. Yeah, you get the uses of
Wisdom times.
modifier.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but you get 2 turns of advantage on every attack for one bonus action.
Because it's cool.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
The champion gets inspiration on every turn.
It is level 14, but it's pretty big. I'm with you.
No, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying, I look at
If
all
the
the other
champion-
stuff here. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of cool. That's
If
kind
the
of, and I
champion
go to
can
Nature's
start-
Veil, and I'm like, holy shit, that's sticking out. Like,
Lee, if the champion can start every round or every turn with heroic advantage or her inspiration,
inspiration, yeah.
whatever, it's
That's a subclass feature.
okay.
No, there's a difference. There is a huge difference there. I don't.
Enlighten me.
Well, the main thing is you said these are level 14 is the capstone for the subclass, right? The subclass capstone per se, right? So it's
Sure,
meant to
but
be
that's-
the most
yeah.
powerful thing you get. It's same thing with the Moon Druid, right? You get the friggin' 2d10 radiant damage on top of whatever whenever you spend a charge or use it. This is just crazy to me. Not that it's overpowered than everything else, but
That's what
that
I'm
it's
saying. I was like, it's right on par.
no, that's what I mean. I think it's on par. What surprises me about this is how much more powerful it is than the rest of single thing we've seen here. You know, that's what I'm
Hunter's
saying.
Mark and no concentration.
Yeah, that's the thing you get for base as being a ranger.
Yeah, I honestly,
more of 'em.
you want my honest opinion on this new version of the Ranger?
Yeah, what do you think
I
so far?
actually, I like it less than the current version.
Really?
Everything that they're doing just it. So
Hot
a
take.
lot of the time,
Drop
a
it.
lot of the time you're going to use Hunter's Mark. It's great. It's kind of the bread and butter for a ranger, but most of the ranger spell list, unless they significantly change it, requires concentration. There's a lot of other cool spells on that list. Most of these features, especially the later ones, you know, Precise Hunter, Foe Slayer, which I guess we haven't talked about either of those, like they're all assuming that you're using Hunter's Mark.
Mhm.
I don't want all of my features like it's not a warlock, you know. The entire ranger sub class features shouldn't be based around one spell, especially a spell that takes your concentration and doesn't allow you to use the other spells on your spell list.
Preach.
So it's still cool. There are absolutely good ideas in here. I'm excited to try it out. I have some ideas for how the three of us could play some D&D and try this stuff out, and we could talk about that off screen. But just base level looking at it, it's not my favorite, but that's okay.
I do
Yeah,
have a quick question, and if you don't have an answer off the top of your head, I understand, because I want to see the class list for spells. But do you have? And are there any spells in the forefront of your mind that's just like, well, if I'm concentrating on Hunter's Mark, I can do this other.
Well, the first one that comes to mind, they probably wouldn't really fight each other for your concentration slot, but the one that comes to actually, it might not even be concentration. What I'm thinking of is the first one that comes to mind is Pass Without Trace. But Hail of Thorns is another cool one that I think is a lot of fun to use sometimes.
Is that?
I'll tell you in 1 second. I'm searching it up now. Hail of Thorns is indeed concentration.
Most of their spells are concentration. Zephyr Strike, concentration.
Ensnaring Strike, Zephyr Strike, Bark Skin, Fog Cloud.
Yeah.
All of
Flame
these.
Arrow,
I definitely want to
Lightning
see. I definitely want to see that spell list.
Spike Growth.
Well,
Yeah.
Spike.
It's
Spike Growth should still be.
No, it should be. I just think that they either, with the focus like this on that one spell being one of the main, I won't say it's the only focus, right? Maybe that's a stretch, but a significant focus of all these class features. It either needs to be like, once you hit 17th level or something, like it doesn't cost concentration or something, or they need to change the spell list or change the spells on that list so that at least some of the options don't require concentration.
I actually
something
think
to keep an eye out for.
What was that?
Hansu.
Sorry, that was my mom, I think. I actually think that I want to go even a step further than what you just said, Josh. I feel like if they want to, I think Hunter's Mark is a cool thing to build the Ranger class around. Not in its current state. I don't think Hunter's Mark as a spell is what it should be built around. I think Hunter's Mark should maybe become like a Ranger feature. Not even necessarily feature, but something that's just like innately in the Ranger toolkit that does not necessarily count as a spell. And I think that would fix a lot of what you're saying, right?
Yeah, and they've toyed with versions like that in the past. I mean, there's been so many iterations of playtests for the Ranger in the last 10 years. But in every one that I know of, even if it didn't count as a spell, it still cost your concentration.
Yeah, see that's just not.
Yeah,
well,
I agree.
Why? So here's my question. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm just really curious to see if I think the spell lists are going to be larger for each class, and I'm just really curious to see if something like a hail of thorns. It's just like you just shoot a hail of thorns, right? Is that it? Like, what else is there to the spell?
Same with lightning arrow and fire arrow.
But is it like you do that every round?
But if you cast it loses Hunter's Mark.
Yep.
That's the problem.
So yeah, but I think it might take like a reaction. Like I think they're gonna smooth out a lot of these things. Hopefully.
I definitely hope they do. But
so because you're bringing up an extremely legitimate point, I'm just wondering how the new list and the new versions will interact with that.
Yeah, that's that. No, I'm in total agreement with you. My hope is that they are changing those spell lists, or at least some of the rules for those spells.
Yeah. So
that it doesn't make it such a huge trade-off. I still don't love that the whole class is kind of built or one of the main focuses of this whole class is built around that. But I love Rangers. I'm still gonna love Rangers in this edition. It's I'm here for it. New things are fun to try out and find new combinations. So
yeah, that's fair.
Either way, it'll be fun.
Well, hopefully they change some of that, because you're right. That concentration really just means you can do nothing but attack. You get all these cool hunter or ranger spells you can't use if you're using Hunter's Mark, which really sucks.
Yeah.
But all right, Vanish is no longer a thing. Gonzo is Vanish. Now we have Precise Hunter at level 17. A creature is marked by Hunter's Mark. You have advantage on attacks against them. By this time, you have 6 free casts of Hunter's Mark. So if you want to focus on dealing damage, Precise Hunter will help you slay your enemies. Did an AI write this? It's that read very much like an AI, did it not? Sorry.
I don't want to keep talking crap about the author.
Jeez. All right.
But there's some weird things in here, and I think that they need to do some more work on the editing front.
Yikes. All right. Thank you.
Well, that's a very strong buff to Hunter's Mark.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
At level
Absolutely.
17. Congratulations. Like.
You've won a 5e prize. What is it?
Advantage.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
All right, Feral Senses. You now have
It's a
blind
feature,
sight
no
out to
flaw.
30 feet. Ooh, that's really cool.
Yep.
That's it. Okay. That's really cool. I love blind sight. But level 19, you get your epic boon, and then at level 20, you get Foe Slayer. Your Hunter's Mark.
Yeah. So I think the Ranger Capstone used to be one of the best in the game, which is. You laughing that it's Hunter's Mark still, or?
No, I'm just
It's just
laughing
that
at
it's-
how terrible this is.
Oh.
It's so bad. Level 20, what do you get? An average of 2 extra damage per hit. Woo! It's just so bad. Oh,
So
man.
Foe Slayer used to be. Let me know what you prefer. At 20th level, you become an unparalleled hunter of your enemies. Once on each of your turns, you could add your Wisdom modifier to the attack roll or the damage roll of an attack you make against one of your favorite enemies. And you could choose this feature before or after the roll.
That's clearly better.
That's so much better.
I think
Yeah.
so too. It's.
I mean,
it's. Go ahead.
no, I was going to say, like, it still sounds pretty freaking boring for a level 20, but if we're being honest, all Capstone level 20 features are pretty terrible in 2014.
There's a handful of them that I like. This is one of the ones that I like. I think Barbarian.
It's
is
every
cool
turn
too.
though on that one. Like that's
Yep.
you have that every turn, and if it's not an attack roll, it's damage.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's really making sure you hit an attack rather than adding damage to an attack, right? Unless you hit all of
It's
your attacks,
both.
in which case, boom, there you go.
You can
right?
save it for the
Yeah,
last one, and
Exactly.
oh, I hit, so here
So,
we are.
I like that it's versatile and you can kind of pick and choose where you want it to focus on. This just seems...
I would let a ranger player use that version in a
Yeah,
level-
this sounds like a kick in the
I
nuts.
feel the same way. Yeah. I think that's
Yeah, why
that
change that?
because they wanted to base it around Hunter's Mark, which is
Alright, so then-
it's just a weird decision to me. But
Okay, if that's the case, then all right, you can do this on the target of your hunter's mark,
Yeah, right? Like,
right? Like that.
it just seems needless. I don't know. Honestly, Josh, you guys probably got the feeling I wasn't feeling this whole change before Josh even said anything. I don't know if you got that vibe, but I really, like,
with the Ranger specifically,
yeah, with the Rangers specifically. I
actually
don't...
really like them.
You like the change?
I like the changes a lot.
I think there's cool ideas. I just I don't know. It's the Hunter's Mark thing for me. I like
Yeah.
Hunter's Mark as a tool in the toolkit. I like that it's better for Rangers than for other people. I don't like that it seems like most of the. I don't know. I think
It's
I
just built
don't.
around it.
Yeah,
I
think
I get that.
I'll say this. I think class features. I don't like the new Ranger at first glance. Obviously, this is a first impression. We don't see what it actually will be. Subclass features, I'm intrigued. I think the subclass features seem interesting across the board. Class features wise, I'm not as happy with them, but I'm still very excited to see what's in store in the actual book, and hopefully the writing is better. No disrespect.
no, that's disrespect. Like it's terrible. Like it's.
I have to imagine that there's.
All right, I'll be up in a minute.
I have to imagine that they're asked like not to write everything exactly as it is in the book because they don't want someone to be able to read this and just use this
Just use
instead
it.
of buying the book.
Yeah.
So that's probably where some of the weirdness comes
Yeah,
from.
but like, write it
Yeah.
in English that makes sense,
I,
right?
yeah,
Like,
I'm
it
with
just,
you.
The, sp- the feature, or I should say this, the part about the class itself that I'm most excited about is I think the utility fantasy of the ranger, although is less, I'll use the word like spectacular or flashy. I think you're gonna feel it more.
I
See,
don't.
I
I really
don't,
don't.
I
I
would
don't,
bet a lot of money.
I don't believe in the utility fantasy of the ranger. I think that that's what they know, and that's what's easier for them to do is just say, we have this skill list here. Now you're better at these skills. But I don't know. It's
Can I?
I think
You're
for
gonna feel
most
it.
tables it will be better.
You're gonna feel expertise on perception. Like that's
Oh, absolutely. I
Yeah.
think
Well,
that
like,
it's having expertise is incredible when you roll those skills. I just think it's not creative. It's not what gets me excited
my
about
question.
playing the ranger. I'd play
All right.
rogue if I wanted that.
it's an expert class, right? Right.
technically
With the
It is
rogue and
now.
with the rogue and the bard, they're worse off at being experts than both of the rogue and the bard.
Well, it was never really
First
meant
off.
to be.
But they're
Shit.
warriors.
I
too.
know, I know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if you're classifying them as expert classes as being expert at these certain things, they're worse than these other classes. They're also worse than combat classes. Right? Like, they're this awkward middle ground between the
Well,
two.
which-
Like, I actually have these guys right up here. I have the ranger stuff on the left, and I have the fighter stuff on the right.
We could talk about that. There's the Rangers.
Yeah, I got like
Alright,
10 minutes, 10 minutes before we go. And this
If you
might
want.
actually help us clarify like the power scaling of this stuff because I feel like it just didn't feel like Josh, I wasn't feeling it, right? Like it's expertise and being an expert in something's cool, but like when you're worse at being an expert at stuff than another class, that feels bad. And when you're not as good as other classes at stuff that you're supposed to be decent at, like combat, with like the ranger, the gloomstalker stuff, whatever, that feels bad. So you're kind of like this awkward step middle child between these two types or like archetypes of play styles. And quite honestly, Bard's a full caster. You could say they're expert classes, but they're versatile and useful in every
the most
freaking
expert of
situation,
experts
right?
because of
Like,
it.
I wouldn't even classify Bard in the same ballpark as this. But I could be reading this entirely wrong, which is why I want to compare the two really quickly before we end. And I'm using fighter because that's the one other one that we've actually looked at.
Sure.
So, ignoring the subclass stuff, let's just go straight for the class stuff because I think that's what the core of what we want is.
Yeah.
Spellcasting changes, which
Mm-hmm.
you get more spells, which is good. You always have Hunter's Mark prepared, which is perfect, and you can
And
cast
more
it.
usage.
What was that?
And more usage.
And more uses of it, exactly.
Yep.
That's the whole thing the class is built on. Fighter, you get second wind and some fancy weapon masteries. You get weapon masteries over on the ranger too, but you get more options with the fighter over here, and you get your tactical mind with the second wind, D10 to failed checks, and your second wind's not expended. But
Ranger is still stronger.
it is stronger
all-
at level 1 or level like lower levels. Yeah.
I think up until a level 11, the Ranger is more powerful.
So at level 5,
That's how I
you get
see
your
it.
tactical shift. At level, you get your fighting styles. Wow, wait.
There's just more on the.
Sorry, yeah. There's just a yeah.
Yeah.
You get your depth explorer. You gain expertise in 2 languages. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. That erases tactical mind
Yep.
easily.
Tactical shift, definitely. Your fighting style, you get your ranged archery, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Or sword, shield, whatever you want. And then your subclass, ignore that. Roving, speed of 10 feet is huge. This is a big thing. I'll give it that.
Mm-hmm.
As well as the swim speed is pretty nice too.
Either of those are. I mean, it's still situational, but they're massive in the right situation.
And 10 extra feet of movement is just.
It's
Yeah,
massive.
that's just
That's
always
just good.
great. And
I
if
guess-
you want to know more about that, not to plug us on your channel, but our action economy series.
There it is.
I'll post a thing.
I did it earlier today,
a
Josh, on
card
the video.
in the corner, over where Josh's head is. I'll put a card on top of his face for that video somewhere.
If you would like us to talk to Lee about the action economy, I always have fun talking about that. So all of Lee's fans,
Yeah,
drop
All of
comments.
my
Maybe we can make that
fans.
happen.
all these fans.
All of my fans.
I see what you did.
Thanks, Josh. Just need a.
I mean, I guess looking at this, they got a lot, but I don't think it doesn't feel impactful. Like I see, like they do have a lot here, but I think that's just like they changed some stuff.
I think the truth of the matter is up until the fighter gets 3 attacks, the ranger has always been more powerful than them, and nobody has seen it.
It's possible, yeah.
I mean, I'll just leave that thought out there. Just like, what could the fighter do? I mean, action surge is awesome. Don't get me wrong, but like, can rangers not take great weapon master or sharpshooter?
Oh yeah,
They have hunter's mark. They have all the subclass backdoor ways of adding damage. Like, it's not that the fighter's bad. It's just once you get that 3rd attack, that's when now we're having a conversation.
I
At least
guess
it's how
you're
I
right.
see it.
I think it. I don't know that I could clearly say like this is definitely stronger than the other until that level, but it's definitely way closer than people think it is.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like
I feel comfortable.
I would feel comfortable
I
with
hear
that.
you.
With that, I do feel comfortable saying that now that I'm thinking about it.
I'm thinking like I'm just thinking of the work that I've been able to do with Battle Master, and then using those extra feats to just get more uses of your Battle Master, your maneuvers.
Yeah.
Well, if you're gonna start comparing subclasses, I mean, you want
You're
a
right.
Beast Companion, or you want to,
Yeah.
I still
Yeah.
don't think Beast Companion's good with how it's written.
extra hit points, generating flanking advantage, generating there's the hunter,
Flanking
the
is an
Gloomstalker,
optional rule in 5e, isn't it?
teleporting away, teleporting away with Fey Wanderer stuff. I mean, like I'm just
Yeah. There's
talking about
definitely there's all sorts of goodness there.
I think
I feel like I'm arguing in a place where I don't necessarily mean to. I do agree they are way more powerful than people give them credit
Oh
for.
yeah, 100%. I think the part that kind of like confused me, or not even confused me, but like made it difficult for me to see the power, is that I'm looking at all of these updates and these changes that they've made, and none of them feel like, oh, that's a fighter,
Well,
oh, that's a ranger. Like, none of that. Like, there's some that are impactful, like the 10-foot movement speed. Not to say expertise isn't impactful, but
I think
it just doesn't.
You need to. I think you just need to look at what they're, and not even looking at the Tasha's page. Like, look at vanilla ranger features and see what they're replacing, because most of those there's a lot of flavor in the ranger class. There's a lot of like, hey, you're comfortable with this specific enemy type. You know their patterns, you know their language. You're better at tracking them. Hey, you're really good in this landscape. You can't be slowed by magical terrain. There's a lot of features like that that are now non-existent, and they're kind of replaced with either expertise or the extra movement speed. And I do think that, like, looking at that objectively, it is better for most tables that way. But when you're looking at all the new features and you're saying like this stuff isn't so helpful, it probably is more helpful for most people given what it's replacing.
Yeah, you're probably not wrong. It just doesn't feel like nothing about this feels like a ranger to me.
Yeah.
Personally, that's just it. Like,
Do you have, and if you can't, I understand. But
Yeah.
do you have an idea of something that would have or could have felt more like a ranger to you that you were hoping to
Tracking stuff.
see? Expertise in survival, Lee.
Yeah, which is boring as shit, man. Like it's literally like
I know.
the whole thing of the past, like the reason Rangers.
Well, Hunter's Mark is also
You,
Yeah.
you know what this feels like to me?
What?
These are the class feature versions of the advantage mechanic. That's
You
what it
know
feels
what?
like to
Yeah,
me.
100%. You're
Because
right.
There's good and bad with advantage. I think overall I don't love it as the main mechanic. But there's a reason for it. It's easy, it makes sense, it's helpful for a lot of people, it's exciting for a lot of people. And I think that expertise and the kind of options that we're seeing there are similar to me. But that's okay. I'm still gonna have fun. I'm excited.
I'm not. I'm gonna have.
I don't sound
anti-fun.
excited, but that's just because I've had a long week and my voice is kind of like almost shot. But
I'm anti-fun. I'm mad at D&D because bad.
I'll
yeah,
tell
I'm
Jeremy
playing
the next time I
DC20
talk to
now.
him.
It's the D&D killer.
Yeah.
No, I
But,
got news for anyone that thinks.
Anyways, that's all I got time for, guys. So thanks for chatting. But before we wrap up, I do want to do a quick PSA. I know most people have left by this point in time, but Jake mentioned it at the start when we started this. If there's something you love, if there's something you hate about these changes, don't doom and gloom about stuff. It's okay. It's still the same game. It's all compatible with current 5th edition. So if you don't like something, you can always go back to the original version of it, right? So there's no need to doom and gloom about it. It's literally just Wizards putting stuff together, handing it to you in a little box, and if you don't like the box, you can just go play with your old Legos. It's fine.
Yeah, you can keep your current plan.
Exactly. It's just new stuff for us to mess around with
Grandfathered
and get our hands dirty. So yeah, it's all a game. We're all gonna enjoy it and have fun regardless, one way or another.
Absolutely.
So I can't wait to read the rest of them. Maybe I'll stream tomorrow night too and do the rest of them, or maybe some of them at least. I got to do wedding stuff now, so
That's important.
yeah, kind of. So much money. Anyways, if you hung out this long, thanks for hanging out, everybody. Go check out Jake and Josh Tabletop Brothers over at J&J Tabletop. Link in the description. I'll put a card somewhere over here. They're super cool guys. They get this crit stamp of approval. Unlike me, they are not on probation for the stamp of approval. So honestly, the guys deserve so much more credit than they have on YouTube. They deserve 3 times my subscribers, maybe even 4.5. So go give them a look, go give them a like, and leave a comment on their videos letting them know that, hey, this Crits is so much more handsome than you guys. But anyways, thanks for hanging out, everybody. We will see you next time.
Now I know why you used that picture of me.